Look, Connor, I love you, man. But we finished recording the episode like 3 hours ago. Also, why are you taking off your tuxedo jacket? That's wildly unprofessional.
Just feel like getting cozy.
Stop laying down on the ground, man. What the fuck are you doing?
I mean, isn't it fun to be spontaneous sometimes?
Absolutely not. Get the fuck out. Just joking. We might as well record the next episode. Welcome everybody to another episode of Cinema Forecast.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Connor spent the night on the floor. We hung out with some sheep. There was a baby bear.
Yeah.
But here we are, ready to record another podcast. As you all know, this is the movie podcast where every month we are randomly assigned a category. Attach that category, 4 movies. Each week, in depth, 1 movie. Context of category.
That's right.
Lay it down for him. What's the category, baby?
Doing trapped movies.
We're doing trapped movies. And the film we are doing today is by the legendary Surrealist director Luis Buñuel, a Spaniard. This film, filmed in Mexico, actually, containing a lot of Spanish, Mexican, and just Latin American Spanish-speaking actors, which is cool. Very fun for me. As always, at the top of these little things, we like to talk about our first experiences with the film.
Did you say the film name?
The Exterminating Angel. I might not have, but whatever. Fuck it, dude.
That's what we're doing.
Exterminate. We're not doing the discreet charm of the bourgeoisie. We're doing the Exterminating Angel. Quick couple notes before we get into our first times. I just immediately want to say, like, after I said first times, I was like, before we get to losing our virginity with this movie. But anyway, cut that out. Double it. Put it back in. I do want to acknowledge the confusion about the whole Castaway thing. I edited those 2 episodes back to back, Castaway and Green Room. So this is my note. All of my notes from those editing. Castaway was the 52nd episode and our 51st movie, but we were very confused, and I had mislabeled the recording 51st episode. So you're right; it was our 52nd episode.
1 year, baby.
1 year. Here we are. Where will we be in a year? Who knows?
Who knows?
Place your bets on Kalshi. Well, they're not bets; they're wagers,
Yeah.
right? Because that would be illegal. Anyway, let's get into the Exterminating Angel.
Yeah, first time watching.
First time watching. I knew Connor hadn't seen it. I was very excited to watch it. I watched it during my extremely exploratory film school days where I was like ripping through films. And I was like, I had known about Luis Buñuel because of like Salvador Dali. And when you like learn about the Surrealist movement and like the like Spanish Surrealists, like he's someone who like often comes up, but I'd never seen any of his movies. This is the first and only of his movies I've seen. I actually, after rewatching it, I want to go like and watch some of his other films. But yeah, I remember I read the concept, I think, on the back of the DVD case because I rented it from Scarecrow Video. Shout out to the largest collection of physical media in the world here in Seattle, Washington.
Love it.
Fucking love Scarecrow. If you ever come to visit Seattle, I highly recommend just going just to check out and like look around. Or if you live in Seattle, you should go and rent DVDs there because they're fucking sick. Let's get into our themes.
Yeah.
Our themes of trappedness.
Being trapped, yeah. I got 4 here. The will to live. Indifference of the universe.
Hell yeah.
Human ingenuity. And freedom.
Hell yeah. My themes I have are isolation, survival, mortality, metamorphosis, and the indifference of the universe. Part of me does feel like mortality and indifference of the universe have a little bit of like an overlap depending on the way that you can frame them. I think that what's interesting to me is that this trapped film is so much about societal commentary.
Yeah.
Which is something that we've gotten into a little bit, right? Like we were talking about with Green Room, the sort of like underdog taking on like this sort of like systemic like violent apparatus.
Yeah.
But this feels much more as like a pointed This is like labeled a comedy. This is a satire of rich people, basically.
Probably the movie we watched that reminded me the most of, funnily enough, was Titanic. Just like a bunch of rich people like who are forced to survive.
Yeah, and I've been dying to ask you. I stopped myself from. I literally wanted to text you and be like, so what'd you think? So now I'm gonna ask you, just top of the pod. What was your initial impression?
Yeah.
Like the movie ends. How did you feel as you walked away from the screen?
I thought it was super interesting. I didn't understand exactly what the major themes, like what kind of the core thesis it was trying to get across to me. I think part of that is that this movie comes at you like real fast and quick with like shit ton of characters. There's so many
Yeah.
characters. It's subtitled, so I'm like looking back and forth between my notes, trying to catch everything, trying to catch who everyone is.
It's an hour and a half long. It's 60 years old. The audio quality leaves something to be desired.
For sure.
And because of those technical aspects, like it's hard to be sure. And knowing that it is like a surrealist piece, like it's hard to tell what's intentional and what has come out of like lack of resources, right? Like
Right.
I think the sound design is like one of the things where there are a lot of things happening that are not intentional, but that make the movie feel even wilder. Cause like the weird, like sudden changes and like the sound, like they're very like jarring, but
Yeah.
in a way kind of work to, kind of make you feel even less, like even more fucking stressed or
Unsettled, yeah.
unsettled.
Yeah.
He apparently, Luis Buñuel publicly stated that he considered the film a failure. And he says that if he had shot it later on in his life in Paris, he would have gone more extreme with it, specifically citing probably like cannibalism, like in the film.
I was wondering if that was going to come up. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, it reminded me a lot of a Twilight Zone episode, like especially the black and white helping with that, but just like a bottleneck, wild scenario that defies physics and imagination, and you're just thrown into it with these people. So I really enjoyed like the bottleneck, social deconstruction, character study stuff. But I was lost a bit throughout it, and like was having a hard time keeping track of who everyone was and what their arcs were throughout it and stuff. So I think it would benefit from rewatching it.
There are specific characters that I have trouble keeping track of, and I am fluent in Spanish, and I had some trouble understanding what they were saying. And again, I think some of it is due to the audio quality. The film had a super low budget. Apparently there like a lack of there were like not a lot of amenities available on set where they were shooting in Mexico. And Buñuel told this story that he said that they operate on, quote, such an austere budget that he could not even afford to purchase fine table napkins for the dinner party scenes, nor could such napkins be easily obtained in Mexico at the time.
Oh, damn.
This movie, 1962, he was only able to procure one such cloth napkin for a close-up shot of the dinner table when the film's makeup artist brought one from her home.
That's so funny. I mean, they got an awesome mansion to film this in, though. It looks great.
Yeah, no, it's fucking awesome. That's where they blew a lot of that. That was probably just like family connections and shit like that.
Right.
But yeah, let's dive in. Let's fucking talk about this film.
Yeah,
The Exterminating Angel.
I was really like torn on whether I should just like start digging into like what all the themes meant and like seeing what other people had to say about it. But I thought it'd be more fun to just like go into this, and maybe you can help me along on what I witnessed.
Yeah, I mean, all these fools were fucking, all these artists were fucking commies and shit, dude. They fucking hate rich people, dude. They hate to see a guy get a fucking bag, No, I'm just joking. I'm kind of joking. But one of the things I did want to point out, as we always like to do in the beginning of our reviews, we do reviews. Wow. Feels weird to say that word. I don't know why. In our jaunts.
Much better.
Yeah, I like jaunt. Jaunt is fun. So, as mentioned, the director is Luis Buñuel. He is one of the writers. He did the screenplay. It's based on a story called Los Naufragos de la Calle de la Providencia.
Is that like a short story?
Written by him and Luis Alcoriza. It is, I don't know if it's a short story. I haven't read it. I think it was intended to be a play or something at one point. But, yeah, I don't know. I guess, so he got the title from his friend Jose Bergamin, who was writing a play with that title but never finished it. And I guess it's in the Bible, but yeah, so Los Naufragos, that means the castaways of Providence Street. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a ton of religious themes and messages here, but like by the end I still couldn't quite sort out exactly what everything meant and why, we'll get to it at the end, but like, why doing things in a certain order again, like broke the spell or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't quite figure out what was trying to be said with some of the stuff.
Yeah, it's all absurdism. It's you're being faced with the absurdity of human society, of like all of these like choices that someone made, or we just decided that we're all just gonna follow these rules. Here, this is another example of how insane this shit is. I remember in the church scene, I was like, I don't recognize that lady. And here you go. In the church scene, the first scene of the movie to be shot, Rita Macedo appears as Lucia de Nobile. She was not able to complete the film due to her pregnancy. And if you look at the fucking, if you look at the cast, the person who plays her for the rest of the movie is Lucy Gallardo. So like literally, you're just like
throwing characters together. And
well,
stuff.
I think you're just working with all of the constraint. And as someone who has written something, planned it out, and then shot it, and then sat down to like edit it, it is like. It seems so easy and so simple. Just
Not
like,
at all.
There's so many things that can just like go wrong.
Yeah.
And I remember, for example, I was putting together an edit of like something that was this like big project we had done in film school with like multiple cameras. And I noticed in that moment that the lead actor says the opposite of the most important line. Like instead of saying, this isn't about you. Like this is about me. She says like this is about you. It's not about me. And I was like, fuck, God fucking damn it. But c'est la vie. So as I said, let's get into it. Whoa, what the fuck? I just accidentally copied and pasted a picture into into my notes. That was very funny. Okay, so 1962. Open with a little fanfare. We're doing this very cool, old school sort of. Let's do all of the fucking all of the credits up top.
Yeah.
Which I love for the simple reason that when the movie ends, it ends. And it feels so much more like artistic intent than some of these like long drawn out like credits. Although to be fair, I think there's arguments that some of them like let you kind of like reflect. Like I feel like Steve Zissou's credit sequence is really fun.
Yeah,
makes you feel like kind of uplifted after sort of like, Ned. If you haven't seen the movie, I won't spoil it.
How are we supposed to know what the sequel will be if we don't get an after credits scene?
Yeah. How are we supposed to know what Bruce Banner orders at the what are they? They're at a kebab place.
Shawarma.
Okay. Yeah, you're so right. But yeah, it is cool to see it all, and it is literally just like you just see like this you hear the organ music, the choir singing, like a big church, all of the credits, and it fades out, fade back on the street that the mansion is on, Calle de la Providencia, which means Providence Street.
Yeah.
Which I think is interesting, right? Because like the word Providence, if you hear any clicky clacking, it's because I'm gonna look up the definition of the word Providence because I didn't do enough work beforehand. The protective care of God or of nature as a spiritual power, and I think that's
good.
That's definitely done on purpose, right?
Oh,
I mean, it was the original title. I feel like there's so much that like happens, but I think we'll be better served maybe speaking a little bit more generally. Essentially, we like are introduced to this house where a party is going to happen. We find out later on that it's after the opera. All these people have been invited to this dinner party. But immediately we see that this guy his name is
I think it was Lucas was the one
Lucas,
who was leaving?
exactly, yes. Lucas wants to leave. Like he wants to leave I think it's Julio who's like the main sort of like butler is like, dude, what are you doing, man? We were about to have 20 people show up, and he's like, yeah, I just need to go on a little walk. Immediately like, what? And then the guy's like, you know what? Don't bother coming back, dude. You don't have a job. Fuck you, dude. Go ahead and take your walk, but you're not coming back.
Yeah. I love that was a fun, like, slow revelation for me where there's a lot happening where I'm like, ooh, there's some kind of conspiracy going on that everyone's in on, and, like, I'm going to figure out, like, who was behind all this, and then it just kind of, like, totally left turns.
Well, because it feels like it can be so grounded. It feels like it can sit anywhere between, like it feels kind of Clue-esque or Murder on the Orient Express,
I was thinking that
like
too.
it feels very much like you're like, okay, like, and
Who's the killer?
people are
Yeah.
having like there's like affairs
Yeah,
going on
yeah.
and shit like that. But then he talks to the dudes in the dining room, the other like the servers, the waiters, and like, what the fuck did you guys do to Lucas? Like,
Yeah,
you guys
was there
piss
a
him off or something?
quarrel?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you're like, nah, man, I actually like Lucas. And the other guy's like, I didn't even know he left. And then immediately, I love this. The next scene is we hear my sister's name, Camila, and the other female, like the staff member.
Kitchen staff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like polishing glasses, and she's like, "All right, after we're done with this, I'm leaving." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll go with you."
Yeah, well, it's like so right before we get to the kitchen staff, you have two of the butlers who give kind of a knowing look to each other. And I'm like, oh, conspiracy. But I guess it's them just being like, yeah, we should leave too, actually.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, or maybe just like, like Lucas, he left. I also feel like a desire to leave.
Yeah.
And I do love that because later on, Julio says, I don't think they knew why they wanted to leave so badly.
Yeah.
Also love that turn from him. He's so severe in the beginning, like the mayordomo, the butler, and then he just like becomes so human and relatable, as the whole thing like sort of like goes on.
Yeah.
But yeah, then one of the cooks wants to leave. The other cook is like, "You're not leaving till I go," and like, not in a way where like, "What are you doing? This is your job," but like, no, like I want somebody to stay with me. Like I'm
Yeah.
scared, kind of.
Yeah.
And it's, you can tell it's a very extravagant because it's like a huge fucking mansion.
Yeah.
And
Awesome mansion. As I
yeah,
mentioned.
I love this part. So there's 27 instances of repetition in this movie. This is I think the first one that I really noticed, and it is all the guests are arriving, and the ladies try to leave,
Yeah.
and they see all the guests arriving, and you have the scene of the host of the party, whose name is Edmundo. He's like, "Lucas, oh that's weird. Where's Lucas? All right, whatever. We'll get your coats upstairs." And then like the ladies had like turned back, and then they go to like leave again. And then the guests are coming again, and it's the
Yeah.
exact same scene, but we have a difference in the shot where we have the low
Interesting.
shot the first time he says it, and then a high angle shot the second time he says
Interesting.
it.
Yeah, I didn't put together it was like the exact same crowd, but that's great.
Yeah, I was like, is this different guests arriving? And like I said, I've seen the movie before, but that was like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And what I thought was really cool about it is like he's literally making you experience deja vu. Very cool. Yeah, see some caviar and a frozen swan. That was sick, dude.
Sweet swan.
Yeah, very cool. I don't think I've ever seen like a carved ice swan in person. Despite as like how prevalent they are in media. Like, have you ever seen one?
I think I've seen a frozen sculpture before, but not a swan, not a nice one.
Yeah, that's the one that I feel like I see all the time.
We're not fancy enough. That's why we wouldn't be in this room.
That's
brother.
why. Yeah, that's why we don't feel pain, dude, because we're poor.
What a wild line.
It is really wild.
But again, like, because I was kind of tracking this stuff as like, okay, what's like, I was like treating it like a murder mystery, almost like, okay, what's going on here? And like, yeah, the two ladies that are leaving, it's like, one of them's like, I can't remember what her objection is, and she's like, you should have thought of that before or whatever. I'm like, oh, before what? What did you do? But it's just like, nope, just leaving.
Yep, just leaving.
And then I think we get the dining.
Yeah, they're at the
dinner.
table. Yeah, and I think one of the first conversations we see is the colonel is talking to, I think, Blanca, the pianist, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
And they're talking about La Patria, which is like, I feel like in English you talk about like, I guess you would say the motherland or the fatherland.
Oh yeah, there's some good lines here.
But La Patria is, yeah, it is like this just, it's weird because it's one of those things that I have trouble fully translating because it is like homeland, father, like the land of your country.
I think the
right,
subtitle is translated as fatherland.
Yeah, and that doesn't really, I think, like fully encapsulate the feeling of it. But she's like basically talking to him about like patriotism.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what he says, but he's like very like, you have a lot of these moments where like unexpected things happen where he's like, whatever, fuck that.
Well, yeah,
he says there's just like rivers that like flow to the sea.
Yeah, good stuff. He also, she's saying something about how, or he says like, I can't stand the sound of cannons, and she's like, I've never known a hero to like be so cowardly or whatever.
Yeah, I will say, I watched this on Plex. The fucking captions were fucking garbage.
Oh yeah.
They were so yeah. Even in Spanish, it was like it was you could tell it was based on the sound. Like it was just automatically
Oh, auto
created.
translated.
Yeah,
Yeah, that sucks.
no, not auto translate. Like
Okay.
it's just like like not phonetic, but like it's hearing the words and just putting them because I would
Not
know
a
what he
proper
said.
translation.
No, it's not. It's not a translation. It's because I didn't put the subtitles in English. I put the subtitles in Spanish.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. No, the problem with it is that it's like so if like because of the sound quality, the way that the words would like I could hear what they said, but like the computer hears it as like this word that's closely like this other word, and then that's what it shows in like the captions. So at certain points I was like, God fucking damn it, what the fuck are they saying?
Yeah, I watched it on Amazon, and it came like the version was just like the subtitled version, so it
Yeah.
wasn't even the settings for
Just
Amazon.
cooked in.
Yeah, and they're talking about Letitia, and
Yeah.
I
The
thought,
Valkyrie.
yeah, I thought they were setting her up to be a more major character, but she really kind of fades into the background.
Dude, she's top billed in this movie. Like she's considered I think like kind of like
the star.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
I think it's because of the last scene.
You'll have to remind me.
She directs the whole reenactment.
Oh yes. Yeah, good moment for her. But yeah, they're talking about her as the virgin bride, and again, like the religious connotations here are very interesting.
from the as we see from the characters, we have the conductor, the pianist. Like she is one of the performers in the opera, right?
okay.
So that's the part she was playing.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
Yeah, that's the part she played, and that's
Gotcha.
why he toasts her like that. But it's not spelled out for you. Like you kind of just have to like
Piece
intuit
it
it.
together. Yeah.
And then they point out that another woman is actually. She points out that woman is actually a virgin.
Interesting.
And I don't know. I think it might be Beatriz, who is Eduardo's fiance.
Okay.
Which would kind of track based on some of the other things we like see them talking about. But I don't know.
Yeah, there's another moment. So he toasts, and they're
And
all
he does it
listening,
again,
and then
yeah.
he does it again, and no one's listening.
And he looks confused too. I love it.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Part of the reason I was like trying to figure out what the themes are here is Edmundo seems like a stand-up dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
I mean,
I was trying to understand where this divine punishment came from for him.
yeah. Well, I mean, the cold indifference of of the universe.
Yeah.
It is. I think to think of it as punishment is to shirk the like, is to, it's. I think absurdism inherent to it is like, you don't reap what you sow. Shit just happens.
Right.
So I think that is what it is. Like, more so at the end of the day, it's not so much about like this is a religious story of punishment. It is, I think, an examination of society through this absurd scenario.
Interesting.
Like in order to like examine ideas and point out how alien they actually are, like you need to like you want to put them in a context that is like so
Yeah.
extreme.
I guess I was thinking because like all of the staff leaves, like so like all the poor people except the head butler leaves. And then it seems like a good portion of the party leaves as well. It's only like
No, that's all the people who are
all
invited.
of them.
All of them
I thought
stay.
some of them leave early. No.
No, all of
Okay.
them stay. All of them are stuck there.
So I was thinking that like
Part of the reason why this movie's insane because there's like 20 main characters.
right.
Well, not main characters, but 20 like party.
Yeah. And they
it's-
all kind of have equal parts, like besides like Edmundo.
And then it's a time where people are dressing a lot alike too. Like all
Yeah.
the ladies have like the same hairstyle,
Yeah.
wearing very similar dresses. They're all wearing their tuxedos
Yeah,
and
I was
stuff.
definitely struggling.
They
in
all
parts,
like a lot
yeah.
of them have mustaches. Like
Totally. I mean, they look great.
no, yeah, they look awesome. They look really.
I love
good.
all the top hats and stuff. I'm a
Yeah.
top hat guy.
When are they? Oh, in the beginning when they
Yeah.
first walk in, they have to. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
But yeah, I was thinking here, like, this is a moment where the whole table, like that moment of him toasting and no one listening, felt like, lack of graciousness to their host and like like being pompous and not really
Being more involved in like gossip than like in
Yes.
the like decorum of the situation.
Yeah, so like I was trying to kind of piece together like what is everyone's flaws and what will they gain by the end of this? And I feel like Edmundo doesn't really have an arc. He's just kind of a good guy
He
throughout it.
absolutely does have flaws. His flaws are that he um is like he believes so blindly in society.
Mm.
He hates rudeness, he hates filth, and he hates violence.
Order.
All of things that are like part of existence, right? I think he wants to embrace, he only wants to live the good life. He only wants the good things of life. He doesn't acknowledge that, you know, to make the stew you have to slaughter the pig, right? You know? I think
Yeah.
that's and again, it's like I think what's really smart about Edmundo's character is that he is likable. He is a good guy, but likable good guys can still be flawed. Likable rich, quote unquote, good guys are still making their money off of the back of somebody else. They're still exploiting people, and even if they do it with a smile, you know, like
Yeah.
they're still like, yeah, I don't know, you know.
Yeah, and then I was thinking about, you know, the head butler being stuck there, and it kind of reminded me of like, you know, the head slave of like plantations where you would have, like there's that line in Django Unchained talking about like no one's worse than like the head slave because it's like he turned against his own people. So maybe that's kind of the commentary on why he gets pulled into it. But
yeah, I think you mean like that the slaves who were chosen to like work in the house.
the ones who like oversee the other slaves
Yeah.
basically and act like slave masters.
Yes, there is literally I think like a term like, you know, house
Yeah.
insert word here.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think he is like like lightly class traitor. Yes, because like there okay, and this actually will feed well into like the sequence of events cuz essentially now what happens is like she's like, "Okay, we're going to start off with this like hors d'oeuvre. It's a Maltese hors d'oeuvre of liver, honey and almonds with a very special sauce." And then the guy falls.
Yeah.
And
everyone
spills
laughs.
it. And everyone's like, "That's and I love how the guy's like, "Oh, truly delicious." Cuz it's like they're like, and that's part of the absurdity too, where you're like, wait, they all like think that's the
Part of the
dish, quote
show?
unquote,
Yeah.
is like that little prank. And then we do hear something about how like Lucia likes to do her little pranks or tricks or jokes, and you hear Russell Sergio. They call him Russell, but it's so funny because of the way they say it in Spanish. It sounds like I had to look in the credits. And I was like, oh, his last name is Russell. That's what they keep saying. But he's like, I don't like jokes. And so then she immediately goes back to talk to Julio. And
There's the sheep and the bear back there.
yeah. And she
Which I love is such a weird little detail.
yeah, she's got a baby bear and the sheep in the garden, and he's like and she's like, okay, just take him back in the garden because like Mr. Russell doesn't like jokes, so let's cancel it. And he's like, okay, that's good because there's weird shit going on, man, and I need you to like attend to this. And so then this is where we see the cooks are trying to leave, and Lucia stops them. And
Yeah, he says his sister's sick.
yeah, and he's been working there for like 5 years, and he's
Yeah.
like, I like working here. That's another thing that I love, that they're never like, I hate working here. They're like, no,
Yeah.
I like this place. I just need to go right now.
Yeah.
But eventually, when they do leave, Julio, the whole class trader thing is like, he literally says the line of like, yeah, it's so hard to get good help these days. Like the
Right.
help is worse and worse
Totally.
every day, right?
Totally.
Sort of like, you know, cozying up to like to his bosses at the detriment of his equals, right? Even though he's like sort of in like a supervisor role. And I love I love in this scene, like then like they walk out and then you see the two waiters like pop in like in their street clothes, like, all right, time to escape.
Yeah, and one of them pours himself a glass of champagne.
Yeah. I also like the thing that the guy says is like, no, we'll just get our shit tomorrow when we come back. And the guy says, nah, they won't let us back in tomorrow. I'm gonna go grab my shit right now.
Right. Yeah, then we get this shot of the empty dining room, and I think it's just Letitia left in there. And now that I'm seeing this, like she smashes the window here.
Yeah.
So maybe that is like the sign of why she's the one who's able to break it at the end, is she's kind of rejecting the conformity of like the order and stuff you were talking about with Edmundo.
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting because I think it is super interesting that the way that they get it to like happen again is by following social norms.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure exactly what doesn't happen, but like, because Blanca wants to leave, and she says that she's like tired. And I think that the thing that happens is that she doesn't excuse herself, or she doesn't say like, "All right, I'm leaving."
Maybe it's just a commentary of like in
It's
this
also like the
world,
social
like
pressure of like it so reminds me of like, you know, that whole thing, like you don't want to be the first one, like you don't want to fall asleep first at a party, or like,
right.
you know, like you don't want to miss out on this, like there's some of that to me as well. Like it feels relatable to be at like a social gathering and being like, I should probably go home, but like I don't want to, like what happened, like what, you know, I always leave and then the cool shit happens or whatever, right?
Yeah, maybe it's just like something that's come up a couple times throughout these movies, or not these movies, but like movies we've watched in the past. Like I think of No Country for Old Men, where when you get down and dirty in the criminal world, like an act of mercy is often what will get you, because like there's no room for like being warm and sweet in that world so often. And so maybe in this case, it's like you broke decorum, like, and there's no room for anything but perfection here.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I also think, again, I will reiterate throughout this that I think that trying, or well, not trying, but like focusing too much on assigning like causal, like traditional story plot ideas to this sort of narrative is not like you obviously it's fun to do and like to talk about and to kind of like make your own mental picture of it, but the main point of the plot is like to be absurd, to highlight like because it really makes you think about like these things of like what's appropriate to do at someone's house, what's appropriate way to like communicate between two people. Like, can you believe this guy's just like staying here? I can't tell him to leave, but like because that would be rude. But he's being rude
way too
by
long
staying.
to track that this was totally like supernatural, like where I was just like, huh. So rich people do this sometimes? They all just crash in the same room together? It's pretty fucking weird.
Yeah, no, it's absurd. It's what it's insane. Like if a person of this like of this class, like like with this amount of money who goes to these parties saw this, they would be like disgusted by it. Like,
right.
what the fuck? No,
and
we
they
all
are
go
disgusted by it.
we all go back to our own homes
Yeah.
at the end of this. Like, and it is awesome when we get into the thick of it that they're just like I want to go.
Yeah.
I want to go. Why didn't you go? And it's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? You literally say you want to go and you haven't gone. And now you're turning angrily at somebody else and saying like, why didn't you go?
Yeah, no, I love the back and forth between the logical and the completely absurd, where they're just like, because it's very interesting to try to understand exactly what's going on in their heads here, where like they're pretty much exactly the same, except for the one aspect that they don't want to leave the room.
Yeah, the doctor I feel like is like totally like the like central character
Yeah.
who is like sounds like the viewer, right? Being
Yeah.
like, let's just be rational, let's just like leave, right? Like
Yeah,
or
let's
like
break
like
this
or
down,
like
yeah.
or like let's think about this. There's a very cute scene after this is also with her with Leticia throwing and breaking the window. You see the two guys hear it, and then one of them says,
Some Jew passing by.
a passing Jew, yeah.
I'm just like, wow, okay.
Well, I mean, this is the country that kicked out all the Jews, man.
Rough.
Yeah, I mean they're in Mexico, but like, you know, written by a Spaniard, so you could see why that might be part of it. Is like part of the way that you paint these like rich Spaniards as having like as being anti-Semitic, and then the other one's like, no, it was the Valkyrie, and this is where we hear her called the Valkyrie.
Yeah, I like that name a lot.
It was very cool. And then I love the way the camera shifts and we see these two people dancing, and it's really cute, dude.
They're the main lovers in the movie, right?
They're engaged. They're not like they're not married, right? They're like they're
I think
on the cusp of
just 5 more days or
well,
something.
yeah, that's what's so cute about it is like she's like, so what's your name? And he's like, Eduardo. And he's like, what's your name? And she's like, Beatrice. And she's like, how old are you? And he's like, 30. She's like, what do you do? I'm an architect. And then she goes, and are you single? And he says, only for 5 more days. And then she breaks like the act and she's like, oh my God, only 5 more days. This is really fucking adorable.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get that on the first watch. I was a little confused. Like, I was like, oh wait, did they just meet? No, okay.
No, yeah, they're engaged. Yeah, they're engaged. They're just being coy with each
I
other.
like it. Cute.
Yeah, some of those things I think are so much easier to read when you're actually like when your understanding of dialogue is auditory and not like
Well, the
read.
notes too, where I'm going back and forth and like writing down little bits
Right,
of
for sure. But I
hearing.
could just hear in her tone the way that like she like
She's
sort of
playing with
breaks
it.
the like
Yeah.
breaks the act.
Yeah, and then who's the woman who's dying of cancer? Is that
Her
Beach
name no, her name is
Blanca?
no, that's the pianist. Her name is Leonora. Dude, okay, here. I will tell you. There is a if you what I did while I watched this is I opened the Wikipedia article for the movie, scrolled down to the section with the characters and just kept like sort of like referencing that to like remember different people. But yeah, Leonora played by a woman named Bertha Moss. Whoa, is she American? No, she's Argentinian. Um she's the one who has cancer and is Dr. Conde's patient.
Yeah, she starts putting some moves on the doctor.
Straight up just like kisses him.
Yeah. Which he doesn't seem completely opposed to.
No, he's like he's kind of into it, you know.
Yeah.
And then oh, but she also wanted to like dance with him, which was like cute. And then later on, like this is also so wild because you have we're introduced to Christian and Rita, who are this couple. They have kids. He has an ulcer, and she seems kind of very like she seems very not like I don't know how to say it. She's like kind of unconcerned with a lot of shit. She just seems very like whatever.
Mm.
But somebody asks the doctor why she kissed him so passionately, and then immediately asks how her cancer is. And the thing that she had said too is that she was feeling so much better that she had
Right.
she ate with such an appetite. And he's like, yeah, she's gonna lose all her hair like in like a month.
Yeah.
Like saying that the like
There's
cancer,
nothing we can do.
there's nothing we can do,
Yeah.
which is echoed later on when Leonora asks him how like is Mr. Russell gonna make it or how is he doing, and he says he's gonna lose all his hair in like a few hours.
Right. Yeah, I thought that was funny.
And
I
then
did notice
and then
that.
she goes, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And he goes, oh, sorry, I mean he's gonna die.
Yeah. No, there were like little moments of humor here and
Yeah.
there I caught.
And what's so wild is you have I think it's oh man, who's introducing him? Maybe it's Raul. No, I can't remember who, but this guy
Leandro?
introduces Christian and Leandro.
Mm.
And they're like, "Oh yeah, wow, hey, nice to meet you." Blah blah blah. And then he comes back from taking his pill, and they're like, "Man, it's so nice to see you again." And like you realize they know each other,
Mm.
but they were pretending that they didn't know each other.
Everyone's pretending.
And then like Russell walks behind them, and Christian says, "Be careful, we're not alone." You know.
Yeah. Again, adding to this kind of conspiracy vibe, and then he says like, "I have a box to give you," which will come up. But again, I was like, "Oh, what's in the box? Like, is that the source of this murder mystery?"
What is it? What is in the box? I don't remember the box. I think he just
it's
said
the
I have a
drugs.
package. No, those are
Different.
Yeah, that's a different character.
Then, yeah, I don't
That's
know.
Edmundo's drugs.
Could just be a red herring.
No, I think he says like, oh, I have like something to give you. Like, I think it's just supposed to be like, I brought you something from New York, and I need to.
Okay.
Or also implications of shady dealings beyond that,
Right.
things left unsaid, or things left.
Well, we know they keep their
unresolved.
drugs in a box. So
Yeah,
maybe it's just another
Edmundo,
box of
yeah.
drugs.
I love that part where because Edmundo is seen as like such this pure character, and he's like,
I got morphine.
me
I
and
got...
my buddies used to fucking hang out in here and do opiates.
Yeah.
And you choose to tell me I was 4 days into this, you piece of shit. But then Christian tries to introduce Leandro to Sergio, and the guy's like, nope, don't worry about it. Keep introducing yourselves. He's so like dubious of so much that's going on. I think that's why he dies first too, because he is just like.
Is he the one who goes into a coma?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
like the bald guy with the
Yeah.
glasses. And he says, I'm not here for jerigonzas. How did it translate jerigonzas?
I don't remember the
You
line.
don't remember? So jerigonza is a like word game similar to like Pig Latin, and there's like a couple different variations of it in Spanish. And it like serves as like a quote unquote like secret language. And I actually my mom is really good at it, and I was pretty good at it when I was a kid, and like my mom and I would talk about like all sorts of stuff and like occult it with that. But essentially the way that it works is that you take the letter P and duplicate like the like vowel part of like a syllable. So for example, but there's all these rules for it. So my name, which is Alfredo, would be apal frepe dopo. So like what he's saying is like, I don't have time for your secret languages and your little bullshit games. Like you like saying like I see you guys.
He's already breaking the decorum. That's why he doesn't fit, man.
No, yeah, I think it's funny that the guy who seems most like sort of like dubious of everything dies first. It makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And then when he walks away, they're like, "Wow, that guy's weird, dude. He's kind of eccentric." And the guy's like, "Yeah, you know, he must work in humanities or something. Es un hombre de letras."
Interesting.
Very funny line to say.
And then we get the mad piano here.
Yeah, Blanca's playing the piano.
Killing it.
Yeah.
Love this.
And then we see Christian makes a sign crossing his chest to the conductor Alberto.
Yeah, again, I was like...
They're Freemasons.
Yes. So that came up a couple times, which is very interesting.
Yeah, because he does his Freemason scream later on for help.
Maybe that's the only other time. But yeah, again, I'm just like, what are they doing? What are they up to? What are they about to like try to do?
Yeah.
And then you see the woman with the chicken feet in her purse. And I was like, oh, okay. So that was hanging over my like imagination the whole movie. Like, oh, did she like cast some witchy spell or something?
She pulls the hanky out of her purse and there's chicken feet and feathers.
Yeah, and then she's just like later like, oh, well, it's just like used for, you know, rituals to open the door. And I like heard a voice, I think she says, that told her to bring it with her. The keys
in Kabbalah are the things that like she had some quote about it, but yeah, she is like interested in like Kabbalah, which is like, you know, Jewish mysticism. If you've seen the movie Pi, a lot of similar topics are explored. And if you were aware of celebrities during the like early 2000s and saw all the little red string bracelets, you probably heard of Kabbalah. But yeah, it's like Jewish mysticism.
Interesting.
Do you remember Pi? Like Kabbalah is very obsessed with like numbers, and that's why like that's why he keeps running into like the fucking I think he's like a Hasidic rabbi, like who's just like, you know. Anyway, need to rewatch that movie. Dude.
Yeah, that just reminded me because I watched that with you, right?
I think we did. Yeah. On back in your room. Yeah.
Yeah, and then even more secret plans. I don't know who's talking here, but he's like, "Well, I'll meet you at Lodge 21 tomorrow or whatever."
Well, I think he asks him. He says, "What lodge are you part of?" Like, I think that they
is that
like
part of the Masonic.
I think that
thing?
Yes. I think they just realized that they're both like Freemasons.
Okay.
And then Leandro interrupts this guy who we've seen Christian treat as his friend, and Alberto, the conductor, seems kind of like a little like pissed off by this. Like, why are you interrupting us? Like, we're having our super secret Freemason talk. And then he introduces him to Christian, even though he doesn't know his name. He's like, Christian, this guy is what the fuck is your name? And then Christian and Leandro, who we've seen greet each other as good buddies. Now Christian is like to Leandro, how long are you gonna remain amongst us? And Leandro says, you tell me first how long you're gonna. And he's like, I live here, man. Like, it almost feels like he's saying like, this is my fucking turf, dude. Like, you can hang for a little bit, but you know, like, how long do you think you're gonna hang out here for? And you're like, oh, are they really friends? Or there's such a weird, tenuous thing going on here.
Yeah, well, it's already like 3 a.m, I think they point out.
Yeah. Which is insane, dude. That's wild.
Yeah. I was just thinking like, oh, like Latino culture, they just party all night, you know? I don't know.
Sure. Spanish people aren't Latino though.
Oh, fair.
But you know, there's a lot of shared culture between. I mean, obviously, you know, we, I, whatever.
Yeah, brother.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
And then,
no, I mean, dude, Spain people party insane. When I was in Madrid, I met these people at this like. There's this like. Oh my god, that's insane. Just this memory, but there's like this party. They have these like just these festivities, like, and they had this like party in this like in this park because of the time of year. It probably has to do with like Catholic, like the liturgy and everything like that. But like, I met these people and they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna like keep drinking. You want to come and like hang out with us?" And I go to this like girl's apartment, and I like fall asleep at like 5 a.m. Wake up at 7, and people are still just like hanging out, like drinking and stuff.
So totally normal.
Yeah, it was fucking. It was, but these people were in their 20s, you know.
Right.
When I went to Spain and I saw people partying, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't expect people of this like social class to do this, right?
Yeah.
Like to be
But that's what I like, not knowing what was going on.
Yeah.
That's what I assumed at first.
Yeah,
Like,
for
oh,
sure.
they just go hard, I guess. Like,
yeah. I mean, here you're not really like you're like okay, yeah, they just had a good time, you know,
yeah.
like there's no you're not to the point where you're like what the fuck is like why don't you just walk out the fucking door?
Yeah.
But yeah, then you have Edmundo telling Julio to arrange the wardrobe.
Mm.
And I think like the implication is like maybe just get things ready for people to take their coats and stuff to leave.
Yeah.
But then immediately we see Alicia is tucking Alberto, the conductor,
Cool. Got
in
that
on the
right.
couch.
Yeah.
It was very funny.
Yeah.
Very cute. He's just like laying there.
And she's just like, oh, he's just like tuckered out, party
Yeah.
too hard.
And then Edmundo says to her, you know, let him rest. We wouldn't want him to try. And she goes, no, he wouldn't do that here. You don't think he would like actually like do that, right? Like what?
Yeah.
And then we
Yeah.
see people starting to get comfortable. And this is the part where it starts to feel like,
Weird.
okay, yeah. Christian's helping his wife lay down. Also, he's talking to someone and they're like, yeah, she's pregnant with our 4th child. And someone asks like, do you know who the dad is? I think it might be Juana, like Francisco's older sister. Like, and are you sure of who the father is?
Damn.
I know, it's
Roasted.
so wild, such a wild thing to say.
Yeah. And at one point he's like, we could get some rooms for you. And I was like, okay, so yeah, people
Yeah.
are just gonna spend the night, and then everyone just starts lying down on the floor, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There's also like the part where Lucia says to Blanca, I thought you left, and she's like, nah, I got caught up talking about the fauna of Romania or whatever. And then the guy starts talking about it again. She's like, nah, fuck this. I'm leaving. So she's like, where's my shawl? So Lucia goes to get her shawl. And this is where we see that Lucia and the Colonel are having an affair.
Yeah.
Because he like follows her and, you know, they like kiss. And he says, why won't they leave? It's almost 4 in the fucking morning.
Yeah.
And Lucia's like, don't worry, you just go wait in my bedroom as everyone, like, take the opportunity for everyone to leave to go wait in my bedroom. He's like, okay, what do I do if your fucking husband walks in?
Yeah.
And she says, I don't know, tell him that I was going to show you something.
Wild.
Also,
Where was Edmundo gonna sleep?
one of my favorite parts about I don't know, maybe she expected, like, maybe she, like, stays up late fucking doing morphine in the study or whatever.
Or maybe
usually.
their marriage has been falling apart for a while. They have a different room.
Yeah, it doesn't even seem like they hate each other.
No.
They seem to be...
There wasn't even really
they
any
like respect each other.
resolution to
And
this
also,
affair or anything.
I love that they like he just is so blind to them like holding hands the whole time, and then obviously him and Leticia seem to have more of a bond than
Yeah.
him and like Lucia. That's another thing, bro. I'm gonna look here. The names, dude. Fucking you know, Leonora, Leticia, Lucia. Like fuck, dude. Come on, bro.
All else, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there's like another character, Silvia, too. Like, and she like I'm like, wait, which one is she? Very, very confusing.
For sure.
But I think on purpose, kind of, honestly.
Yeah, maybe part of the disorientation of it
Yeah,
all.
yeah, for sure.
Um,
I would have loved to see the version he did if like the one that he pictured, you know, thinking
Right.
of this being a failure. This film reminds me a lot of Jean-Luc Godard's Le Weekend, The Weekend. Very, very also like absurdist sort of thing. Highly recommend. If anybody's listening to this out there and really liked this movie, this sort of vibe, highly recommend checking out that movie.
hell
I would
yeah.
also recommend you check it out just because you're my friend and you have to take my suggestions.
That's right.
You have to take my recs.
Yeah, they're turning out the lights.
And then the whole conversation about the tuxedo jacket is so fucking funny, dude.
Oh yeah, where he takes it off and they're like,
Well, she says, I have it pulled up right here because I have
oh, the lessening the drunk's embarrassment. That part.
Aren't they going a bit far, taking off their tuxedo jackets? Don't forget, Leandro lives in the United States. Besides, this is the time when the body's most relaxed, and with the pleasant temperature in here. And she says, I'm sure they'll feel ashamed when they look back on their behavior. Fucking funny.
Yeah, and he's like, I want to lessen their embarrassment.
Yeah, so he
and-
takes off his jacket. I mean, dude, his last name is Nobile, right?
Oh yeah, noble. Yeah, totally.
I mean, noble in Spanish is noble, but nobile is like literally one letter like
Right.
off, right?
Right.
No land.
It's all connected, man.
No land?
Just put the main thing of your character in their last name. That's how
Yeah,
you do
who's
it.
Ray, because she's a ray of sunshine.
Oh yeah.
Star Wars.
Um.
Yeah, but
Oh yeah.
he's everyone's settling in to sleep in this room.
And we got a very sexy scene with the two lovers getting all frisky with each other.
Oh yeah, it's their first night together.
That's right.
But it's also wild here. You realize you're like, why are Edmundo and Lucia also staying here?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they be like, all right, y'all, we're gonna retire upstairs?
Well, that's why I took I want to lessen their embarrassment as them being like, okay, we'll sleep down here with them just so they don't feel as awkward about it.
I think at this point what it is that it's a little bit like it is exactly like operating within society. Like, oh, why do you want to do this? This noble reason that I can come up with. Okay, but that's not really the reason why you want to do it. The real reason you want to do it is because of all of the social pressure to do it, right? So that's why he actually does it. It's not because he wants to lessen the embarrassment. It's just a very easy way for him to be like, yeah, I don't want to admit that I can't leave. I don't want to admit that I don't want to leave. That's another question, right? Is it I can't or I don't want to?
Yeah, what I was trying to say earlier was the mental gymnastics they have to go through in order to justify why they aren't leaving is very fun.
It is, but it makes so much sense. Like, because, I mean, we talk about cognitive dissonance and we talk about, like, compartmentalization in, like, psychology. And, like, it so tracks, right? Like, but it is, again, it is literally taking that concept, pushing it to an extreme. And then it's so easy to sit in your chair and be like, you guys are fucking dumb. And if you do that and you don't see the reflection of yourself pointing to yourself in the mirror, like in the fucking screen, then you're the dumb one because we're all like this.
Yeah.
Like we're all like this to a certain extent. It's just about how much you're willing to examine and examine these things for their use or like, you know, like I try to think a lot about like these things because especially having parents who are more like very sort of progressive. Like I think the idea of examining your values or examining why you do certain things and is important, right? Like that's important to being a well-rounded like critical thinker, right?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think the easiest one is people struggling to admit when they're wrong or, you know, everyone wants to see themselves as in the right. And so you start to do those mental gymnastics to make the story, make you the hero of the story.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, or you the victim of like chance or
circumstances.
Or like, you know, they did this to me, like which is what happens later on, right? Like you were doing this to us. And then we see in the exterior shot. Oh, we also see that like
is it the doctor who's like
Russell's the last one to go to bed.
Okay,
and he's the one who's clutching at his chest as he like sits down on the chair.
Yeah, I was wondering what was up with that, like a panic attack almost.
I mean, he's old, you know, too. I think he's also like looking around. I think he's so taken aback by the like
decorum,
the like total breaking of norms.
Yeah.
That it like it just fucks him up really hard. And it's also like he like looks around and then I think realizing like these people are acting insane.
Maybe
I can't leave.
Yeah, maybe he's the first one to really clock that like no, something is deeply wrong here.
Yeah, something is incorrect with the fabric of the universe.
Totally. But then morning exterior.
Yeah, you see that the gates are open. We have, and this is interesting. Julio also in the house, but he's in the dining room.
Yeah,
like he like spent the night in the dining room. We see everyone's like waking up, you know, and I love this point where you finally get Edmundo like, what the fuck is going on, dude?
Yeah.
And Lucia's like, well, you know what? We'll give them breakfast and then they'll leave, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and then there's what's the big asshole's name? His wife tells him like the disheveled look suits you or whatever.
The disheveled look suits. No, that's his sister. That's his older sister.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Juana and Francisco. Right before this though, we have the three ladies talking. I think the three who are talking are definitely the one who's into Kabbalah. She's talking about I think that character's name is Ana Mainar, and she's telling the story of how she was once in a train wreck. And I think this is where we have the quote of where Rita says that poor people are less sensitive to pain.
Right, which is wild. I mean, I get what they're trying to say, but like the sentiment that it's
Then she compares poor people to a bull, like
right.
in like a bull like in a bullfight.
All right. I was thinking of there's a old fairy tale about the like the prince who won't marry if the princess can't feel a pee under like 10 mattresses or
The
whatever.
Princess and the Pea.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's such a funny way to say that.
Oh yeah, I don't remember what it was
Yeah,
called.
Princess and the Pea, classic. For sure. Yeah, it is like when you're rich, you are sensitive to things. You understand the finer things. You're more subtle, more nuanced is the implication, I believe.
Totally.
But of course, all these people are fucking like bestias. They're wild, dude. They're fucking insane. But then you have the line where, and again, another cool repetition thing where Francisco's like, "Why are you looking at me like that?" And then she says, "You look more interesting than ever."
Right.
And then he overhears Beatriz and Eduardo, and Beatriz is like, why are you looking at me like that? I must look horrible." And he goes, "You look more interesting than ever." And then he goes, "Oh wow, what good hearing you have."
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
This guy's a real prick.
yeah, what's going on? Yeah, I think he's supposed to be like the youngest, and he's
Mm.
kind of like a brat.
Yeah.
Is like the
Big
whole
brat.
thing.
Totally.
Yeah. Then you see doctor checking on Sergio, noticing that he's not doing so well, and this is where we have that callback to like he'll lose his hair in a few hours.
Yeah, a few hours to live, basically.
Very very funny, very wild. And then Lucia is like, "Julio, will you bring like some like breakfast in?" And he's like, "It's too early for any of like the purveyors to like have brought anything." And also like
She's
the-
surprised.
and
She's
the-
like,
no,
"Oh,
no,
nothing's
no,
come in
the
yet."
purveyors, yeah, okay. But then he says, "Yeah, the milkman hasn't even shown up." And that's when she's like, "That's surprising
Yeah.
that the milkman hasn't come." And this is implying the reverse of what's going on, which is that people can't cross the gate threshold to go into the house.
Yeah. Good stuff.
So she's like, "You know what? Take some of the cold meat from last night and make some really hot coffee, and we'll just fucking do it." And this whole time, Julio's on the other side of the fucking on the other side of the
Barrier.
threshold. Yeah.
And I think this is when it's like really confirmed.
It's made super obvious. Yes.
Yeah, this is when I put it together finally. And
Because they ask her where they can freshen up, and she's like, "Yeah, follow me."
yeah, and they just like stop.
Stop.
It. Yeah, and it keeps being like little things of like little conversations that come up, or I think he's saying, or like the butler is about to go get coffee, Julia is about to get coffee, and she's like, "Well, yeah, we could stay for coffee."
Yeah, yeah, because the colonel is already like sort of like he's suspicious because he says, "I bet you they don't leave."
Right.
And then he asked Eduardo, "Why didn't you leave last night?" And he says, "I don't know. Everyone else stayed. Why did you stay?" And then the doctor's like, "Why did you tell Julio to bring the breakfast here and not in the dining room?" And she's, "I don't know. Everyone's here." I love that too. The sort of like, it feels very kind of like Nuremberg defense adjacent. Like, I'm just doing my job.
Right.
You know, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, just like totally like not examining your behavior in any way.
Totally.
And so this is when we're starting to realize, like, fuck, what's going on? And like, Blanca is like, "I need to leave. I need to go see my kids. I need to see my husband." And Alberto and Alicia are like, "Okay, we're going with you." And then Blanca's like, "Rita, aren't you coming? You got kids too." And she's like, "No, they're fine. They got their teacher. They'll be okay." And then they go and they're about to cross the threshold, like you said. And then Julio arrives with the cart and moves past them. And Alberto's like, "Oh, man, okay, well, now I really want a cigarette and I have an empty stomach. So, we can stay for a little coffee."
Chill. Yeah.
But Blanca doesn't follow. She just collapses into this chair next to the threshold, looking defeated, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I like the
Some
slow
I
like
think
realization.
she does a great, like, a lot of her like facial expressions. Like she has a lot of like, I really like that actor in this movie, Blanca. I think she does a great fucking job.
Totally. There's a nice like
Patricia
little
de Morelos.
moment that stuck out to me too, where one of the guys is like putting on his shoes to leave, and he's like, "Oh, my feet are swollen, like they don't fit anymore." And that to me was like adding to this, where it's almost like the the matter of the universe is shifting around them not leaving.
Yeah, they're like it's like they're on a plane or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then you see that they're all eating breakfast, but there's no spoons for the sugar, and so Lucia's like, Julio,
Oh,
go get
right.
the spoons, and he like tries to cross, but he stops himself. It's like,
Well, it's best that I see to something else first.
well,
and-
no, yeah. Eventually, he's like, well, I figure I just wait till like like take all the
yeah,
plates
that should
with
come
me,
first. Yeah.
so I can do one trip. And it's like, and you thinking that you're like, there's not going to be dishes if you don't have the serving dish, the serving spoon to make the coffee. Like they're not going to drink their coffee till they have their sugar. So like that doesn't make any sense. It's, dare I say, absurd.
Indeed. Yeah. But again, I love the mental gymnastics that they're all trying to rationalize this why they
Well, you
won't
don't want to
leave.
feel that you are at the whims of a threshold, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't want to feel like that door tells me what to do, right? So
Right.
like what do? I tell myself that I'm making the decision, right?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me in Harry Potter. Like, there's
Ooh.
there's that
Oh,
canceled, canceled. But there's
whoa.
that talk of like,
Let's just say written by Notorious Turf,
yes,
J.K. Rowling.
yes, that like the Muggles can't see magic not because
Whoa, dude! I'm a Muggle, dude. Don't. Whoa, man.
non-magic folk can't see magic not because they can't see it, but because of this kind of thing where
Yeah.
they brainwash. Like, it's too absurd.
It doesn't fit into the
Yes.
schema of what you believe reality should be like.
Right, so you just rationalize it in some way.
Yeah, that's the thing that the way that our minds work is like I feel like grammar is such a good encapsulation of it because it is this inherent system of rules and ways that pieces fit together that we don't. That's just intuitive to us because we've grown up in this culture, right?
Yeah.
And it is like the ideas you have for how things go all have a certain schema, and I think this is really sort of like turning the schema of how a dinner party goes on its head, right? Because what typically happens, you arrive, you bring a gift, because you want to be gracious towards your hosts. You say how delicious everything is. You enjoy the company of everyone. You have nice conversations. And then at the appropriate time, you excuse yourself, thank your hosts, and go home.
Yep.
And it's just the reason I love this movie so much, it's because you took something as simple as like, what do you usually do when you go to a dinner party? And the whole what if of it is you're just like, okay, but what if at the end
You just can't go.
nobody left? It's like, what do you mean nobody left? Well, they can't. What do you mean they can't?
Right.
And that's literally how you feel like watching the movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I love the premise a lot. I like I said, I didn't understand. I feel like I need to rewatch it to totally get everything that it's doing.
It is like it's a play. It's like a filmed play. I feel like a stage version of this would be fucking awesome
Oh,
to
that's
watch in person.
That's a good point. Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of like I think Waiting for Godot, No Exit, like Sartre, Beckett, like other plays within the like absurdist canon.
Cool. I'm not familiar, but
Yeah.
I'd love to see an absurdist play.
Yeah, how familiar are you with absurdism? Have you read The Stranger?
No,
No?
no. Who's
No,
that by?
you've never read any Camus? Albert Camus?
No,
No.
no.
I was
I don't think so, at least.
So absurdism is a sub like is related to existentialism, right?
Yeah,
When I was 19, I read a bunch of Dostoevsky,
yeah.
and a bunch of like Sartre and that shit. And this is like, and Kafka. This is my shit. Like,
I've read
this
all
is-
three of those.
This is like my favorite sort of. I love this and like magical realism so much.
Yeah.
Like they just like anytime I realize like I'm like, oh, that's what's going on, I get so excited. Like the first time I saw it, oh my god. So if you dig this movie, I don't know how I feel about it now, but I really one of my favorite theater going experiences of my whole life was seeing Mother
Still need to see
by
it.
Darren Aronofsky the
Yeah.
day it came out with my friend. My friend Alex Harnish and I, we got out of class, we went, smoked some weed, and we're like, all right, time to go see this new Aronofsky movie. And I remember sitting in the theater just completely having my mind blown. It was awesome.
Yeah, I need to see
I
it.
also feel like Midsommar has some of this, like sort of like where you're like, oh my god, what the fuck is real?
Totally. What, are you a fan of Twilight Zone?
Yeah, I just never really watched very much of it. I do, but I
Should
like
check it out.
Yeah, for sure. I absolutely. I mean, like people just say like this is the concept for this Twilight Zone episode. I'm like, yeah, sick. That's awesome. I'm very aware that is like the sort of like the way that a lot of them
Yeah,
like
a lot
work.
of it is just like no explanation, just weird human like
A boy who can kill you with his mind.
yeah, or just like yeah, you a book reader who
Yeah, now finally I'm all alone, and then his glasses break. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
good shit. It's funny.
Or
it's like
one of my favorite episodes is
It's like it feels a lot like you take a joke,
yeah,
and then you turn it into like a plausible plot.
totally. One of my favorite episodes is these like 4 kind of archetype characters, like a soldier. I think I don't remember what they all are, but they're all like trapped in this room, and they're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, how do we get out? And they finally, at the very end, they all like get on each other's shoulders, and the heroine of the story is able to jump out, and you realize they're all toys in like a bin for charity.
That's awesome. That's really really good.
Yeah.
I imagine there was probably some inspiration both ways potentially for
Oh
this.
yeah,
Like, 'cause,
totally.
I mean, like the first series for Twilight Zone, I think is like 59 or something. But all of these ideas are already like sort of like floating around.
I mean, it's a huge sci-fi explosion in the 50s, and like that really carried into cinema.
Yeah, for sure. This not sci-fi though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Nighttime.
it is
Storm.
nighttime. We got a
Rain.
storm. Yeah.
I love me a good storm.
And then Blanca is playing the piano, but it's so much more like
Bro-
dissonant. Yeah.
She sounds just like she's fiddling around
She's
in
doing
a very
something, yeah.
distraught way. Yeah.
We see everyone still in the room. Someone tells her to stop playing. Sergio is going into a coma. And then the doctor says, we got to try really hard to like just get all of our like will together and leave so we can save Russell. And Francisco's like, it's useless. Why'd you fucking bring me here, to his sister? And his sister's like, you're the one who made me come here.
Right. This is the part where we start to get like the real deconstruction of society, and when like all their hope is lost. Like I don't know who says it, but someone's just like, it's no use. We're doomed.
Yeah. Raul is the guy with the cane. He says, this is crazy. Like, no, he's like, we're not crazy. Like, let's think about this rationally, like, essentially, right? And somebody is like, why aren't they coming to check on us, too? Which is such a funny thing to say. Just, again, you're like, why don't you just walk out of the room? No, it's, like, so hard to, like,
Even
like
conceptualize that.
No,
that
it's
problem.
like, yeah, like, why isn't anybody helping me?
Yeah.
And then Alberto, the conductor, he asked Edmundo, he was like, does that have anything to do with all the staff of the house leaving? And he says, well, they probably had their reasons to leave. Raul's line here is great. Oh, like the reasons that rats have for leaving the boat when it's sinking.
That's good,
really
yeah.
good. And I love Julio being like, I don't think they knew why they left.
Right.
I don't think they knew why they wanted to leave so quickly. And the doctor just reinforcing the idea that we need to remain level-headed.
Yeah, and there was another line, again, going to kind of divine judgment, perhaps. One of them is like, maybe we're the only people left. Like, maybe the rapture happened, basically.
Yeah, they think that, like, everyone might be, like, maybe everyone out there is, like, dead.
Yeah, there's also a little moment where really focused, I think this is the bathroom with the angel on the front painted on the door. And there's, like, a very meticulous, like, shot of her taking the key out, opening the door, putting the key on the other side, and then closing it. And I was like, oh, what does that mean? I'm not sure. Like, there's a lot of shots of the bathroom, and I'm like, what is the significance here?
Well,
Maybe just the angel.
I mean,
on
that's
the
where
front?
that's where they put Sergio's body. That's where fucking the couple commit suicide as well. Yeah, I'm not sure. It almost feels like, is it like the like little like slice of paradise, or like
privacy,
the place,
or like the grossest place is the place with like the angel on it. That is their one place of like reprieve.
Yeah. I'm not sure. There were definitely times where I'm like, okay, why is that important? Why is that? Because there's a shot where you see Alberto with maybe not his wife, like another woman with his hands on her back, like, and they go in there and then they come. I don't know, or like a woman goes in, but then you only see him come out. It's again. I think there is symbolism, but I think.
I mean, that might be. I didn't notice that. Maybe that was implying they were getting it on in there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. That was what I figured as well. But I think part of it is, in order to, turn this schema on its head, like he wants to like push, like it's like make you uncomfortable. He wants to do things that don't make sense.
Right.
And so random shots that make you think, what does that mean,
Right.
are going to put you in a headspace where you're more willing to like
Suspension of disbelief kind of thing.
examine what's going on.
Yeah.
And I think that symbolism is great and it's very important, but I think in this, those choices are more to disarm you, like to keep you on your feet, to like get you to like, stay quick and like think about to not just passively watch the film, if that makes sense.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, Edmundo also, I think this is what I was thinking of, but like because the doctor said we have to try really hard to save Sergio, and Edmundo's like, what if we're all quiet and we just work up the strength to try and leave? And Raul's like, fuck you, Edmundo, this is your fault, which is the line he writes for the rest of the fucking movie, basically.
Yeah. And someone gets slapped here? I just wrote slap.
Man, I can't remember.
Well, they're turning on each other is the important, important beat.
Because there is the moment where the colonel like pushes the woman too.
Yeah.
And he's been one of the people who's like kind of been like more like in control. That really feels like a moment. And
then you got the what was the brat,
couple?
the brat's name?
Oh, Francisco, he's having a bad time.
Yeah, he says, I'll never set foot in a brothel again, which was, again, like, kind of getting me to think of these themes of, like, judgment or, like, this being some kind of,
Well, what he says is, like, all you guys are doing is chatting like whores, and I think he says, I'll never come back to this brothel again.
Oh, I misunderstood.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's repenting. I think he is, like, being an asshole. And I think he gets slapped.
Yeah,
I think that he's the one who gets slapped because he's saying that shit, and they're like, "What the fuck is wrong with you, dog?"
Yeah.
We also have the lovers, Eduardo and Beatriz. They're sad that they can't be alone together.
Yeah.
And Beatriz says, "I have an idea, but I'll tell you when everyone is sleeping." And then we see Leandro seemingly overhearing them, and then I think the idea. I don't know if that's when the idea of like let's. No, I don't think it is. I think her idea is just to go into the whatever that other room is, which again. Filmed in such a confusing way.
Yeah.
Because is it the bathroom? Because that's what I'm thinking about the whole time. Where are the poopies?
Yeah.
Where are they making grumpies?
Yeah.
So I figured it was like a bathroom, and then I was like, is it just like a big bathroom, big enough where you can like lay down?
Well,
on
I was
the floor?
under impression at a certain point that there was two rooms because like are the lovers sitting in there with the dead body later on? Okay.
Because he sees. Because that's the shot composition. Is like he puts the body in and then notices them like.
Oh right.
In the room.
That's right. There's a great little moment here that really got me thinking of the theme of freedom, where one of the women comes out of the bathroom, and she's like, "Oh, I lifted up the lid," and they're all talking about what they saw underneath there. It's like, "Oh, it was such a beautiful drop. The wind hit my face. I saw an eagle, a stream, like pining for this freedom that's through a toilet hole."
And again, also just so fucking weird.
Yeah.
So fucking weird. I do want to point something out about one of the people who acts in this. The person who plays the crazy mystical lady with the chicken feet, her name is Nadia Aro Oliva. Her birth name, Nadia Bodesuk de Aro Oliva. She competed in the women's individual foil event at the 1948 Summer Olympics. She was a fucking fencer. Isn't that cool?
That's so sick. I love that.
Very, very cool.
And then I think they're going back to sleep, and this is when they discover that what's his name is dead.
Yeah, everyone's sleeping, and then the doctor tells the colonel that Sergio's dead, and they're like, "That's gonna bum them out, dude. What are we gonna do?
Let's shove him in the bathroom."
Well, and then this is where you see Eduardo sneaking into the side room, and Beatriz is like, "Did they see you?" And he says, "I don't know, whatever."
Yeah, I got
sure,
that part
maybe
down.
they did, maybe they didn't. And then they move the body into into that same room, and you see the doctor see Beatriz, and this is the moment where I really realized the shadow play in this fucking movie is phenomenal. Like the cinematography is jarring at times, like we've been talking about, like the shot composition, the shot selection, but like the way that he the shadow on his face, but just enough light to see his expression. Yeah. Seeing her face.
I do see the shot
shadow.
In my head. Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Very distinct,
dude. Her face in that shadow is like so I mean, she's so beautiful, but it's so haunting, you know?
Yeah, and what are the two lovers' names again?
Beatriz and Eduardo.
Eduardo just starts going on this like crazy philosophical rant here. He's like, or where he's talking about like what they should do, and he's like, my death and like back into the fold and stuff. And I'm like, whoa.
My line is, I have no fucking idea what Eduardo is going on about, but I think this is where they decide that they're gonna kill themselves,
Yeah.
like that they're gonna free themselves from this by
Yeah.
taking their lives.
Yeah. In some
But
way,
he's talking about that, and then you see the doctor close the door.
yeah.
So weird.
It's also weird. Yeah. I almost took like now in reading or going through this again and like going through you talked about the guy who died first was the one who is like the had the lowest etiquette or whatever. And here it's almost like maybe
Well, it's not just that, but it's also like he won't play along. Like he
Right.
doesn't like jokes. They all love the jokes. He
Right.
doesn't like the joke.
I'm thinking about like these lovers being kind of out of place in terms of like their love is so pure and it's such a like stagnant cold environment in so many ways.
There is something so lustful about it, though, which doesn't need to be bad. It
Yeah.
doesn't need to be sinful, but they feel very like.
Just trying to get all
I think
over each
she's
other.
the one who's the virgin, and I
Yeah.
think he just like they want to fuck so bad.
Did they at least do it before they kill themselves? I'd like to think so.
Yeah, this is This is the kind of movie where you can decide for yourself, my friend.
Cool. I've made my decision.
Yeah, they're fucking in heaven.
Hell yeah.
If I fucked you in heaven. Have you heard the joke about what's the difference between a bag of Coke and a 3-year-old?
No, I don't think so.
Eric Clapton would never let a bag of Coke fall out a window.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
It's horrible.
it is pretty horrible.
Yikes.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Any follow up there?
No, I just watched this like interesting YouTube video about like the origins of the song Layla and George Harrison and Eric
Yeah.
Clapton's relationship and how they both were married to the same woman.
Yeah. I read a autobiography from Eric Clapton. Pretty wild.
Oh, yeah, what a fucking piece of shit, dude.
Yeah, he's a problem. He's a problem.
Yeah, dude, he back in the day he was a problem on the guitar.
He sure was. What do they call him? Like slow hands or something?
Slow hand, yeah. So you see one of the ladies wakes up and she's so thirsty. I love this how they're actually dealing with some of the practical things.
Yes, I
I
was
had
wondering
forgotten
if
about
thirst
that.
would come up and stuff. Yeah, I
She's
love
trying
that.
to suck on the lemon.
Yeah.
And then she sees the hand pop out of the door.
Yeah, and she wakes the woman up, and then it seems like she kind of faints,
And then the other lady doesn't even notice.
and then goes back to sleep.
Yeah,
It's
Very-
strange. Yeah.
it is strange. And we see that there's a crowd forming outside in the morning.
Yeah, and
and-
they say it's been 4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say it's been 4 days since they posted up there.
Right. So even longer.
It could have been like who knows, right?
Yeah, because you can live a long time without food as long as you have water.
Yeah. And what I love is like there's the guy who's like he's like talking, he's like, yeah, we set up the loudspeaker so we could communicate with the people inside. And the guy's like, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I know. Okay, why are you bringing this up? And he's like, because like, did it ever occur to you that we could just walk in and talk to them? And the guy's
Yeah.
like, oh, whatever. And I love the way that the dialogue is written in this really like smart way where like you have these segues or like non sequiturs that like just feel very natural to conversation where like, wait, no, answer the question. Are you thinking about that? Like,
Right.
it's like,
Well, he
obviously,
does say that he sent like everyone in, and they all came back, and he's like, well, did they even try to get in? He's like, that's the problem. No.
yeah, but they're like they like are aware of it and they're like a little confused by it, but
Yeah.
they're not like super
Freaked out.
concerned. Yeah. Which feels a lot like just accepting the like, oh, some people don't have homes. Some people like don't have enough money to eat. And that's okay. Well, should we like feed them or house them? No. Okay, why? Well, and then
Yeah.
they just
Cutscene.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, and then we see them breaking the wall down.
This is like, so I had forgotten about this part too. And I'm watching, I'm like, you guys are trying to like leave through
Yeah,
another
that's
place,
what I
and then
thought,
it's
yeah.
and then you're like, oh, the water pipe, that's smart.
Yeah. I love that. I love that detail.
Because they're like they're never trying to leave. That's the thing about it. They're so trapped. That's another thing. It's such an trapped movie. Like
Right.
no one actually ever
Well,
genuinely
they do.
tried.
They try to walk out a couple times, but then they just get turned around again by conversation, or they just stop at the threshold. And
They don't ever try to leave. They don't ever try to leave. Like they try to leave visually, but they don't ever try to leave.
I think that is them trying to leave when they walk up to the threshold, though.
Yeah, I feel like you're not understanding what I'm saying. That's them trying to leave, sure, but they never try to leave. It's never like, it never feels like a genuine effort. Like it's
Right.
never
like
like
I was waiting for like let's just charge.
yeah,
or
like
moment.
throw me across the
Yeah,
like
I was
there's
expecting that too. Yeah, push me. Yeah.
but there's also like not trying to get out windows, not like okay, maybe this is the like threshold we can't cross. Not trying to figure out any of
Right.
the rules. Every other Trapped movie, you are so concerned with
Getting
everything
out.
around
Yeah.
you, finding a heroin lab underneath.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's no genuine effort to
Right.
like digging through the floorboards. Like they
Right.
are trapped by their own expectations.
Yeah.
Which is fucking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and human ingenuity, getting that water. One of our themes.
Yeah, human ingenuity for sure. I was thinking that when you said human ingenuity, there's also like the flip side of it, which is like kind of like I can't remember what I was gonna say, but I think I was just thinking like when you said human ingenuity, I was like that's a very funny thing to think about in this movie because these people are all kind of useless.
Yeah. I mean, the doctor's trying to logic it out, but
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
they're just magically can't do it.
And the way they rush to the water too, and the colonel is like,
yeah, fighting
make
over
sure
it.
the women go first. Make sure the women go first. And then there's the one lady who's like kind of like not doing so hot. I don't know which one she is. I kept being confused whether that was Leonora or Anna. And then there's also another person. There's Sylvia who's also there who has very little lines, I think.
Yeah,
And-
is there, well, like you said, maybe it's adding to it. Is there a better version of this with fewer characters we get to know better?
No, I don't think so. There's different versions of there's taking the story and doing your own sort of thing with it. But I think the like amount of people adds to the like we desire to feel comfortable, and this film wants you to be uncomfortable. And I think having less characters would make me feel more comfortable.
For me, it's more of a matter of wanting to understand what each of the characters are doing throughout so I can watch their transformation, because that like transformation arc is lost a bit if I'm just like, I don't know who's who.
Yeah, I mean this film isn't about like character like arcs. This movie is about this is a statement more on like a more of like an much more of like an art film where it's like there are character arcs, but that's not the central thing, right? Like
Sure, but like, Letitia, for example, breaking the window and how that can play into her figuring out at the end. Like little things, like if I didn't know who Letitia was, I wouldn't piece that thing together, So I feel like being able to see the little things that are being set up would
I
help
think having
this
the
for
same
me.
amount, maybe just making them a little bit more. I think if there was better sound quality, so like like you could be more aware of the just like the different voices, and then on top of that, if the costumes were a little bit more
distinct,
different
yeah.
for people, and then I think on top of that, if you spoke Spanish,
Right.
it would help because no matter what, I think this size of cast when you are watching a subtitled film might make it hard
For sure.
to glom on like who is who.
For sure. I love that they start bathing in the spring too. There's something that felt so like,
Yeah, the women are like washing their face and they're talking about how like dry their skin is.
yeah, it kind of reminds me of the moment of Tom Hanks or Chuck Noland getting the fire on the island, right? Where it's just like this base human instinct that I like seeing in a trap movie, this
Yeah.
moment of reprieve,
I don't know. Did I ever mention the thing that I was trying to say about the lady? She keeps saying, "Don't go, please don't leave me alone."
Oh, yeah, no, I don't
Yeah,
think
she
you did.
keeps like crying that
yeah,
out.
I remember that.
We find out Alberto hasn't opened his eyes in 2 days.
Right.
And speaking of human ingenuity, Julio is eating some paper.
Yeah, I love that.
And I love how Beatrice is like, "Oh, that's gross." And he's like, "It really isn't. It actually doesn't
I
taste
used to
bad."
do this when I was a kid all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I like that he recognizes, like he says, it fools your stomach into thinking it's full. Like he knows, like
Yeah.
he hasn't lost his mind. This isn't like,
Yeah,
oh,
there's
I'm
not a
getting
lot-
my
yeah,
nutrition. He's just like, no, I'm just like trying to stave off this pain.
He's not like the Lost Boys where it's
Yeah.
like, "Where's the food?" You have to imagine the food, you know?
Right.
By Lost Boys, I mean from Hook, not from the vampires.
Yeah. I was assuming.
And then you see the lady combing her hair, but
Yes.
repetitively like that. And Francisco's like, "I hate that. I hate that." And then his sister
Like,
goes over and
I
starts
think he says, I hate her. Yeah.
starts combing her hair for her.
Yeah.
And she's like, "This is how you comb your hair all the way to the bottom." And then Francisco grabs the comb and just breaks it.
Yeah. He's such a
Also,
little
did you notice that
punk.
Francisco's first line is in English
Oh, is
in
it?
the movie
I
at the
don't
dinner
remember.
table? Yeah.
What does he say? Do you remember?
He says, "English, No, I don't know. I can't remember what he said. He's like he's laughing at the joke like of like
Mhm.
the guy tripping, and he's like, "Oh, how funny," or something like that.
It's so funny, like, because yeah, I've watched a lot of subtitled stuff, especially with anime, and like so often it'll be like, oh wait, they're speaking in English right now. Like that's crazy. Like where I don't even process it. I'm just so used to reading it.
Or you're like you're listening to them talk, and like they say something like doresu, and you see the word dress come up, and you're like, "Wait, that's just the word for dress in English."
Yes.
As I've been doing Japanese on Duolingo, and then I went to Japan last year in October, and it is really funny just seeing how many like loan words there are in Japanese. I mean, in Spanish there is a lot as well. And you see stuff like, I mean, like in Japanese, the word for jacket is like jaqueto or something like that,
Right.
and then in Spanish it's chaqueta.
Right.
You know?
Well, in English, it's just like how many just straight French words do we use for?
I think most of them are pretty gay French words, honestly.
Hell yeah, the best kind. Yeah, this is when we get a Christians.
I think what I was gonna say though is that in Japanese sometimes they're just so like not like they haven't evolved. In English, a lot of those French words have like the pronunciation and shit has changed. In Spanish, like I said, like for example, the word jumper, which means like a sweater, in Peruvian Spanish we say chompa. So chompa.
Right.
It looks so different from jumper.
Right.
Or like the word bistec in Spanish comes from beefsteak. And I remember when I realized that, I posted about it on Facebook, and my other Spanish speaking like native Spanish speakers were like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And I remember one of my friends was like, "This is a joke, right? Like you guys are joking, right? You're exaggerating." And like, no, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that. That's insane. Beefsteak?
That's so funny. I'm always amused by like the subtle, like the tiniest differences between like British English and American English, where it's like, we just have a one less U in the word color.
Yeah, I got failed on a fucking spelling test in like sixth grade because I spelled center CENTRE, theater THEATRE,
Right.
all like that. And then my mom like fucking emailed my teacher and was like, "Why did you fail him on his like he used legitimate spellings of all the words?"
Right. Yeah, it's silly.
And then she changed my score.
I hope she's trapped in a room somewhere. No, I'm just kidding.
Miss Do? No, man. Miss Do was cool. She just didn't know, dude. It just didn't fit the schema of what she understood to be spelling, broski?
Totally.
Yeah. Rita's looking for Christian's ulcer pills in the little silver box. And then then Rita's asking Julio if there's any sugar left because she's hungry.
Yeah, no food.
Which is also wild to picture just eating like sugar.
Yeah.
Like,
I imagine
hungry,
a couple
just eating
days of no
sugar.
food, and I bet it's fucking delicious.
I mean, sugar is really good. I mean, have
Yeah.
you ever gotten like a lemon drop with like a sugar rim?
Maybe.
No?
And
You never had like a drink with like a sugar rim?
I don't think. Oh yeah. Yeah, a little bit of sugar, but like a whole cube of sugar. I mean, I used to eat it when I was a kid. But
I don't think it's cubed sugar. I think it's probably like powdered sugar. Well,
Yeah.
not powdered, but I think it's like granules, not like
Right.
like a horse. Just like I have munched on a sugar cube before.
I mean, yeah, I did when I was a kid all the time.
It's fucking delicious, dude.
Yeah, a little too sweet for me these days.
Fucking how's the weather up there in your fucking white tower?
Yeah.
So Christian thinks that somebody hid his pills on purpose.
Right.
So you're starting to get the conspiratorial,
Yeah,
like
more
everyone
paranoia.
turning against each other, and then they are like really genuine. Like I can't stop thinking about our kids. Like I hope that they're like okay. And this is where we see this guy who is like the guy who teaches and watches their kids. I think it's implied Rita thinks of him very highly, and then you hear Christian talking about him here, and he's like he's like kind of like I think saying like fuck, I fucking hate that guy, or like I don't trust him with our kids. And I think the implication is, along with the parentage thing, is that Rita is sleeping with this guy, and like maybe has been for a while, and maybe previous children of his are not actually his child.
Was she the one that was asked earlier?
Who the parent? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, they asked Christian specifically. They're like, do you know who the father is?
That's
of
brutal.
his child.
That's brutal.
Yeah. It was pretty wild.
Yeah, and there's some old grievances coming out here. I forget exactly what the context was that for that, but they're just picking at each other more and more.
Yeah, I mean, Raul and Christian don't fuck with each other. Well, I mean, so what I think what you're saying is it really is just the line of like, I don't like you, and I never have. I didn't like you
Yeah.
before this, is like what they're saying. And Mundo's like, bro, hey, guys, calm down. And then immediately Raul and Christian are both like, shut the fuck up, Edmundo.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I love that moment in a movie where the peacekeeper gets like
Turned on.
Well, he unites the people he's trying to keep the peace with, but
Yeah.
against him.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Good tactic.
Yeah, and and Edmundo's like, why are you guys hating on me? And the colonel's like, dude, just leave them alone. Don't upset them anymore, you know?
Yeah, and I don't know who says this, but someone says only a miracle will get us out of here.
Yeah, I think Edmundo tells the colonel he wishes that he could make it stop. He doesn't like people being uncomfortable, and this is his big thing. He hates, like, he wants everyone to be comforted.
wants
That's
everything
why
to be
that's why he's the
perfect.
host.
Yeah.
He wants everyone to feel attended to and everything, and this is his worst nightmare because everyone is uncomfortable and they blame him, and it's happening under his roof, right?
Yeah.
And the colonel suggests, I think, that like they potentially like that they do like a prayer all together or something, I think, which is like the miracle thing, because like only a miracle will get us out of here.
Yeah.
And then we get the line about how the body is starting to smell, Sergio's dead body.
Yeah, I was wondering if that would come up.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And then we also, how quickly we see Raul find the box of pills. And I was like, oh, okay, this is a cool little like branching tree moment. Does he give it to Christian and start scheming against Edmundo, or does he remain petty? And he remains steadfast petty,
Hell yeah.
throwing that shit across the fucking threshold.
Yeah. Yeah, what an asshole.
And then we see Blanca literally tearing her
Yeah.
hair out, dude.
Yeah, just losing it.
Yeah. And one of the women, I don't know if it's, I can't remember exactly who it is, but she's freaking out. She's like, why don't you just kill me? And then she says, but if we make it out of this, I want to go to Lourdes
Yeah.
with you, with the doctor. And they wanted to go see this specific like saints, like a shrine to them.
And she like is making him promise to get her like a little statue of the Virgin Mary. Again, just like all this, this religious stuff where like it feels like they feel like they're being judged.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think they're. Well, it's funny because I think that they do and they don't, because
Right.
I think part of it is that they're are so used to being the upper. Well, depending on the characters, right?
Yeah.
Like a character like this, for sure. Other characters, no, they're like.
Yeah.
They're like, I deserve everything in the world. I'm rich. I'm like
Entitled
smart,
till
you
the
know.
end.
Yeah, entitled. Yeah, exactly. But it is cool to see some of the characters who are like sort of like interpreting more as like, what did I do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then this is where Edmundo finally shows the doctor that he's got all these opiates.
Yeah, the box of drugs.
And the doctor's like, why are you just showing me this, motherfucker? What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then later on we'll see like, you know, well, Francisco overhears this. He's like, oh, you say you got morphine? And they're like, kind of like walk away. I also love that, using the camera framing as a device for ending conversations, where like I think they just like turn and look at him and walk away.
Yeah, there is a.
But then you think they walking like 5 feet away. They're like in the same room. Like,
Right.
it's so funny.
Yeah, nowhere to go. Yeah, that reminds me of like earlier. It really stood out to me after the dinner when the two lovers are doing that like cute dance moment. That's just like all one shot where it's just like watching them dance, watching these people come in, just like pulling, like just super cool to see all of these interactions passing in one sequence.
And the best part about that is that like that one shot probably is like, sure, like done for like technical sake, but probably also just like because it's cheaper,
right?
And it's just like, let's just work on the blocking and the rehearsal. That way we'll use less film, and like if we don't have to stop and start.
Right. But like the amount of practice you have to get the, you know, the choreography where everyone needs to be at the right time, like you said, the blocking and stuff like that.
Right,
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, sure, work is cheap. You know what's expensive? Film.
Right.
And I think that's the thing, is like you can, like with a budget like this, you know, and people who believe in a project, you can just like rehearse and rehearse and rehearse. And also, like, I mean, the way this movie is made and like all that shit, like you can see him being very forgiving of like things not lining up perfectly. Like it feels very it's not like sloppy, but it's just very sort of like,
Indie.
yeah, it's just very of very like passion art project.
Yeah.
Francisco tells Blanca she smells bad.
Yeah, you smell like a hyena and I hate you is what I
Yeah.
wrote down.
Yeah. He's disgusted by all of them. He says we all smell bad.
Yeah. Yeah, he's I was surprised it didn't heat up more with him because he was such a like,
Yeah.
loose cannon.
Yeah, for sure. And this is we get a really cool line here. This is where Edmundo says the thing I mentioned earlier. He says, "The things I've always hated most, rudeness, violence, and filth, are now
Right.
my inseparable companions."
Yeah, good line.
Yeah. And you see the Colonel literally like kissing Lucia's hands during this part. Like he's like kissing it, and Edmundo's just like staring off. Just
Yeah, maybe
like,
that's part of the commentary too, is that like there's all these things happening in their life that they would rather not see, so they don't the same way they can't leave the room and they keep
Yeah.
making mental gymnastics around it.
there's also there's this part of me that's like there's a couple different ways to think about it. Also, I forgot to mention the music is by Raúl La Vista.
Mm.
And there's like some cool like little score stuff throughout.
Yeah.
But I also like the thing I think is like there's two ways to read it. He is just so oblivious, obviously, or like he notices it but like just doesn't care.
Right.
Cuz like I'm trapped like why am I going to trip about that, you know?
Yeah, I have bigger
Also,
problems.
He doesn't like to make people feel uncomfortable.
True.
So it's very in his character to notice his wife cheating on him and be like, well, as long as she's comfortable.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to start a confrontation about this.
Yeah. And also, it seems like the Colonel is like maybe like one of his very good friends.
Yeah.
Like, because I mean, they say at one point, like, we've been friends for a long time.
Yeah, he's the one who keeps kind of having his back, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and then who is this on the couch who has the trippy hand dream?
The same person from before. I think it's Anna.
Okay.
I can't tell Anna and Leonora apart.
Gotcha.
I had trouble with that.
Yeah, this is a weird sequence.
Yeah, it's very cool though. Very, very.
The hand.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Yeah, she's like talking in her sleep too.
Yeah.
And I think it's her because she's the one who's into all the mystical shit. And I think she's like saying some weird Kabbalah shit. And then there's the weird noises. You have the sound of something hitting something.
Yeah.
And just now talking about this and knowing some of the more background things about the budget, like I wonder if like that was just like something that was going on that they could, because it was just like
It's
you're just
caught
like
on
what
film.
the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the disembodied hand reminds me of that movie. Did you ever see Idle Hand?
No, I was just thinking of the thing from Adam's Family.
Yeah, for sure. You're not familiar with this movie at all? Okay, so it's a movie from like the early 2000s. I think it's kind of like a horror, like horny horror movie.
Okay.
So this guy's hand becomes possessed,
Okay.
and he cuts it off because it's like has a will of its own. And then
Also some Evil Dead.
for
in
the
there.
rest of the movie, it's like crawling around, like fucking like doing all this fucked up shit.
That's so funny because that's straight out of Evil Dead 2 as well. Should have put a chainsaw on that bad boy.
No, dude, he's not that type of hero. He's definitely like I think he's like in high school, and he's like very much like, kind of like, more like pathetic hero, like yeah, I don't know. That movie is wild though.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I saw it when it came out a long time ago, but yeah.
Then the clocks start chiming, and the hand starts choking her,
Yeah.
and she tries to stab it, and that's when like the woman
Well,
screams.
she smashes it with a
Yeah,
statue.
Yeah.
And then she like lays back down, and then it crawls out of her shawl and goes
Right.
around her neck. And yeah, she fucking tries to, and I think she accidentally, I don't know, I think it might be Beatrice or someone whose hands she actually accidentally like stabs.
I think she almost stabs it. I think she pulls her
Yeah.
hand away. Yeah. And then I think they're just like giving out medication.
Well, the lovers are talking about how long they've been there. It feels like we've always been here
Yeah.
and will remain here forever.
Yeah, I like that line.
And then that's where after that we see Francisco's grab the drug box and he shows it to his sister. And then I think Raul or Leandro, because they also look kind of like come over and are like, hey, what's that? And they just like don't answer and go back to sleeping. I love that too, just like the moment of like not saying anything. Dude,
yeah, and then
the things you don't say are just as loud as the things you say. It's fucking jazz, baby.
it's the notes you don't play. Yeah, and then there's this creepy ass scene of this dude trying to kiss the women.
It's
and there's
Alberto. Yeah, he suddenly opens his eyes. Because remember, he hasn't opened his eyes in days.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he tries to like kiss Rita, but like gets off of her fast enough for no one to know who. Like she's like, someone assaulted me, but I don't know who.
Yeah.
And then Christian thinks the colonel is trying to make moves on his wife, which makes sense because if you see, you're like, you're already doing
Yeah.
this with someone else,
Yeah.
And then he loses his patience because, then Raul and Leandro do the whole like, this is your fucking fault, Edmundo thing again.
Well, he challenges him to a duel, which is
Yeah.
badass. I was kind of hoping we get the duel.
And then Alicia keeps saying, Alicia keeps saying, I'm hungry. And she obviously seems like pretty, like she's much younger than everyone else. And also, did you clock that age difference between like Alberto and Alicia?
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
He's like fully white hair man with like
Yeah.
like married to like a 20-something-year-old.
Pretty common with rich folk.
Yeah, for sure. But she's like, I'm hungry, and he fucking pushes her.
Right.
And everyone's like, whoa, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah. And he's like, and he immediately
Yeah, he
catches
feels
himself.
bad, yeah. And then this is where Edmundo tries to pitch men and women sleeping on different sides.
Yeah.
And then we see the shadow of the bear and the sheep run into the room, which is such a great way to like be like, all this conflict is happening. Like women should sleep, let's like the men and women sleep like in different sides, and then suddenly just like food.
Right. I love just the visuals of the sheep running up the stairs and the bear following after is super cool. And
I think the bear goes upstairs and they see its shadow like going upstairs.
Right.
And why? Because the bear goes its own way. The sheep do what everyone else does,
Right. Yeah. I was wondering the significance of the sheep.
I mean, the imagery is pretty
conformity, basically.
Yeah, the classic sheep thing.
Yeah.
Wake up, sheeple.
Well, I was also thinking of it as like, divine providence, right? Like here, like again, if this is judgment, if this is some trial, it's like God will give you what you need.
I think the duality of the herd and the shepherd and Jesus Christ shepherding imagery works well for Buñuel in this, because part of his thing is, I think that religion is another one of these sort of things that like pacifies you and pushes you towards conformity, right? And so I think it works well as like a dual image of like, you're just following what everyone else does. Also, you're one of the flock of Christ, right? Who also happens to be a bunch of people just doing the same thing that everybody else does.
Right. But yeah, they get the sheep. It's kind of haunting image of them all surrounding
Also,
the
I just
sheep
want to point out, nobody's like, Alberto, you're awake.
Oh yeah.
Nobody acknowledges it.
Yeah. Weird. Yeah.
But-
Morning balloons.
Yeah.
Children visiting.
Yeah, there's Christian's kids. They want to see the house that their parents are trapped in, and we see their son Johnny like actually like crosses the threshold.
Yeah,
and like
before he
goes
runs back. Yeah,
and everyone's encouraging him. They're like, go, go, go! But yeah, then he
and maybe just that is one of the larger themes that I needed to really clock to understand what's going on here. Just conformity, right? A child is innocent, not totally, hasn't conformed to society's rules, so he's the one who's able to pass the threshold.
Yeah, I mean, you have to think like you got to picture this guy. He's like an artist who's like, we need to be like ourselves. We need to express ourselves. We need to distinguish ourselves from one another, and that's what that makes so much sense to me. Like watching this movie, like we need to question why we do things. We like, like,
right.
I don't know.
Right. You also have before that a man who's just like, I know how to solve this, and they're like, arrest him, like, or get him out of here.
Doesn't he say he'll go in? He's like, I will go in.
Yeah, he's like, I can take care of this, and they're like, no.
Nah. Then we see them inside rotisserie cooking the sheep over the fire.
It's so smoky.
Yeah,
in there,
everyone's coughing. It's really good. And he's breaking down a cello for the firewood.
Yeah.
And they're talking about like, they're building society again, right? They're trying to like all right, we have to have a group of people to keep things tidy and everything.
Right.
And I think you even see like, they start folding things and people are being like much more sort of like orderly about it because it feels like resigned to be there forever. And then this is where Anna really goes into her fucking Kabbalah shit with some of the ladies.
With the chicken feet.
Yeah, and she says she heard the voice before going to the opera telling her not to forget her keys.
Yeah.
Because the keys in Kabbalah are like, she's essentially saying like they're the ways to like open the door to
Like the divine, basically.
yeah, they're like casting spells basically. Like
Right.
they're like the tools for like her like ritual. So then they start doing like a sort of like ritual.
Right.
And then we see this is so cool. Edmundo's wearing like a piece of cloth around his like head, and Leticia, and he's like next to the sheep. She brings him the knife, hands him the knife, takes the like cloth off of his head, and puts it over the eyes of the sheep.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome imagery.
Yeah, I like it a lot. And then we also get, I'm not sure who it is who's shaving his leg and his foot here.
I think it's a massager.
Oh.
That's Francisco. Francisco's doing it earlier. I don't know if it's a massager or a shaver.
Well, it looked like the hair was all gone there, so I assumed, unless that's just how his
Well,
hair
then
shaped.
like somebody's just like doing it. That's why. But then a man doing it on his leg, it felt like it was probably a massager or something.
Interesting.
That's what I figured. But also a very key part of what Anna says, she can't complete the ritual because she needs innocent blood.
Yeah. Right. And,
And then,
and
of
she's
course-
like, let's wait till the last sheep.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then that's what you're thinking. Oh, are they going to kill her right now? But then immediately Francisco sees the blood under the door,
Yeah.
and he shows Juana. Juana goes to get the doctor, and they find that Beatriz and Eduardo have committed suicide.
Yeah, we don't know how or why.
Well, what you hear when the guy
Well, we kinda
says
know
"se
why.
cortaron las venas," which means like, did they? Or he's asking, did they cut their veins?
Mm.
Did they slash their wrists?
Interesting.
Probably how they did it.
Yeah, I don't think I got that translation.
Mm.
They went a less vulgar route, I guess,
What do you mean less vulgar route?
than describing someone slitting their veins.
I don't know how vulgar that is.
I mean,
but also, like
it's,
you're doing the subs. I mean, it's.
I just
it's
remember
great,
it
it's
being
gory.
cleaner. Yeah, like it was just like
Cleaner. We're talking about translation. We're talking about dictation.
no.
There's
I
nothing
just
cleaner than
I
the
mean
truth.
it's clean. It's like squeaky clean in that way, where it's not as violent. Is what I
What?
mean. Like the translation isn't giving you the violent part of what they're saying.
Okay, well, someone does say that. Someone says in the background, they're like, did they cut their veins? Did they slash their wrists? Well, see, that's the thing. In English, you say, did you like slash your wrists? In Spanish, you say, cut your veins.
Yeah, I think in the translation it was just like
It didn't even say, did they slash their wrists?
it was just
at
like how did they
it's-
do it,
It's at
and
the
then it
very
just
end of the
shrugs it
scene.
off.
Somebody
yeah.
says, like, how did they do it? Did they slash their wrists?
Mm.
And, like, it's like, even like the way that it's edited, it's like, did they slash their like it cuts in the middle of them, like saying
okay,
it.
well then maybe I was just looking down. Interesting.
Perhaps, yeah. I would hope that they would put that in there because
Yeah,
I think it's really
I mean,
like
that's a weird thing to edit. Yeah,
it's also just like
you're
it's
basically
very
censoring
cool,
the
like,
movie.
the way that it works.
Yeah. Then we see the bear climbing the pillar.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and then we get the
Well, because they're all shuffling around and they see the bear again,
yeah, I like the bear.
and then we have Francisco laughing because he wants to push Leandro into the other room.
And I think we get the Masonic cry for help here.
Yeah, Christian starts doing his Freemason call for help, which is fucking hilarious.
Wild, yeah.
And then Alberto says it's time to pronounce it's time to say the unpronounceable word, and then they say shit that I do not understand, that I'm not really like. They say letters and like I don't, and it just feels like some sort of like Masonic thing, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, then they just turn away from the threshold. You do have Francisco finally pushing Leandro, like trying to push him over the threshold, but like he doesn't go
He
through
doesn't
the
try
threshold.
that hard. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one of those things, like you were saying, not really trying to get out. Yeah, like it's interesting that
Like
they
he
never even.
he doesn't actually even try to push him, like
Yeah.
actual push him.
Yeah. Like you don't get a moment of someone who's just trying to shove someone out.
Then there's like a huge scuffle, and I love the way they get separated. And then Francisco's like laughing like a crazy guy, but you see like that sort of like
Turn to tears.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that moment too. And then we get the clocks chiming again.
This is so cool. I love you have this audio going over these shots of these people, and you realize these are like their memories.
Oh yeah, this part gets so trippy.
Very cool. Yeah, the audio seems to be of like the memories. You see the trippy shot of like the sky and like a face spinning.
Yeah, there's like screaming and cries for help and
Yeah.
chanting
It's like all these memories and surreal images.
and sounds of tools and something about head in the clouds and the Pope on the peak.
Yeah, it is like I said, it is like a overlay of like the
Yeah.
head and the cloud. The
Right.
shot of the sky and the
Right.
clouds is like stationary, while the like overlay of the head is spinning.
Yeah, very strange.
Very cool.
And it was just like the shot, like when he says there's a Pope on the peak or whatever, and I'm just like looking at the mountain, like I don't see no Pope. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah. I think they're like like looking off at like, but again, I think they're just like glimpses of memories that
Yeah.
they've had. Very, very, very cool. like I will acknowledge a little weird to like just suddenly have this in here, but I think it speaks to the level of desperation they're arriving at, where there's
yeah, I took it as like they're starting to get delusional.
yeah.
Yeah. Which they already were. I mean, we saw that with the knife moment with the hands and everything.
Yeah, I think she's more. I think also that kind of implies she's like maybe more. I don't know, because again, I think it's like the mystical lady, so I think she's more maybe prone to. I'm not sure though, but again, like I have a hard time keeping track of a couple of the characters.
Right.
But yeah. Then we see Francisco try to get more drugs, but the drug box is empty.
He just tosses it.
Tosses it past the threshold.
I do love the little detail, just like the procedural things in trap movies is really fun, and I like that they keep throwing all their trash into like right outside the threshold, like out of their space. Like it totally makes sense, but I love this just like growing pile of debris and like random crap throughout the movie.
Yeah, that's how the guy finds the pillbox earlier, because he's like picking at it, trying to see like eating, like trying to eat random things.
Yeah.
And then we see nighttime outside again, and we see the people are still gathered, and I think really like I don't know how much. It's hard to say what's more the key. Is it Leticia leading the reenactment, or is it the return of the meek who shall inherit the earth? You know what I'm saying, dude? Because we start to see the two cooks are out front, Camila and the other lady's also there, and then Lucas stops them from shoot. Like the bear comes out and he's like, no, don't shoot the bear, don't shoot the bear.
Right.
And then you see the two waiters also arrive.
Yeah. And I love the detail of the yellow flag. I totally thought it was white, but the yellow flag hanging out front to mark that it's been quarantined. So it's like this has grown into a larger event, and like, they're trying to rationalize it as some sort of like disease or something going on.
For sure. And at this point, we are at the peak of like intensity, because Raul, Leandro, Juana, and Francisco are talking in private. Then Blanca tells the other ladies that Raul told her that the only way to end this is by killing Edmundo. And I love the one lady, she says, kill the spider, the web comes undone.
Yeah, that just gets real dark real quick.
And the curtain has been drawn covering the piano area where Edmundo and Leticia are.
Right, and the doctor tries to get in the way, and they're very quickly to
I love
kill the doctor too.
Well, I love how he's like, speak up, like don't like whisper, like say what you have to say, like out loud so everyone can hear you. And I think he even says like, because we know what you're talking about. And it is the colonel and the doctor, and I think maybe Lucia or someone else are like sort of like standing in the way of this, like you said, and then they are let's just fucking kill everyone, fuck them. And then I think that there's a whole like physical struggle, and you see like Christian picking up a knife and shit, but then they open the curtain and Edmundo's like, there's no need for violence, and everyone like just like quiets down. He walks over to like a cabinet, and it looks like he pulls out a gun, and then this is the moment where Leticia says, wait, how long have we been here? How many different configurations of people have there been? How many different configurations of furniture have there been?
Right. We've moved everything around like 1,000 times.
And now we're back to exactly where we were.
Very trippy.
That night.
Yeah, I like that.
It's also the thought of like, you did something and you didn't, like, you failed at maintaining the societal norms. So now you're trapped. Like, because that's essentially what has happened, right? Is like, you fucked up doing what society considers is right. So now you have to stay in here until you can like correct your mistake, right?
Yeah.
It's like almost like they what's the classes that etiquette. It's almost like they failed their etiquette class, so they have to like retake the final.
Right, over and over and over again. Yeah, until they get it right. Totally. Yeah, I love that the piano is the first way this starts, and the hope everyone starts to get as like they're all just like, wait, no, get in that position. You were standing behind me. Get up.
Well, and what I love about it too is that it's so easy for this to just be like Leticia, like, oh, you were there. But no, I love how she's like, or am I hallucinating? Right? Like, like guys, help me out here. Like, and then like they all encourage each other, and it's really fucking sick to see them working together all of a sudden. Because even Raul is like, okay, that's cool, but like, why does it matter, right? But still, everyone ends up participating, and everyone. And what I love about it is that there was a part of me that was like, feels a little bit like a allegory for making a film. You know, like everyone in their places.
You have to do it right.
Executing your roles, saying your line right.
Yeah.
and because if you don't, then like can't leave.
Yeah.
It also just like at one point I remember watching it and I was like, dude, they're trapped. They're trapped by narrative. They're trapped by story. They are trapped by film.
Right.
Like what has truly trapped them is like the four sides of the screen, you know?
Right.
Like
The script, bro.
yeah. No, I feel like there's yeah, I don't know. Watching it I mean I love I fucking love this movie.
I like it. I like it. I think it's very intriguing.
For sure.
I think I'll like it more on a second watch.
Yeah, the moment I heard about this movie I was like I have to watch it. And the first time I watched it I was blown away. And then I watched it this time and I was like still blown away.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love the whole sequence of them trying to get the right words right, and then it culminating into it's late and we must be going, and they're
Yeah.
like that's it, and then they go. So
Yeah.
maybe that's what happened last time, I guess, is they didn't say we must be going.
No, I think she said something but something slightly different.
Interesting.
Right, but
Yeah.
then yeah, she finally says that and then it's like
the spell is lifted. Like
it felt like an exhale, you know,
yeah,
a
I love
sigh
that
of
moment.
relief.
It's really good.
And I love how then they go to the threshold and like she walks up to it. Leticia's the first one and she like stops. She doesn't just walk, she stops,
Yeah.
acknowledges the barrier and then moves past it.
Yeah.
Because there's a moment where you're like, oh, is that not all going to work? And what I kind of love about back in the day when you watch movies, and probably the first time I saw this movie, you don't see the little bar with like how much of the movie is left, right?
Right.
And I've admitted to doing this sometimes. I think I talked about it maybe the Sinners episode or whatever. Like I always wear a watch and I know the runtime of a film. So I'll like do the mental calculus of like, oh, like this is like the point where we're at structurally. So like these things are going to start happening. And I do imagine seeing this in a theater, you could be much more convinced to be like, oh, it's not going to work, right?
Right. There's still another half hour to go.
Yeah.
Before they finally figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's not a half hour. I think this happens at like there's 10 minutes left of the movie
I'm
after
saying
that.
if you didn't know how much was left, you'd be like, oh, well, there could be way more.
Yeah,
in the movie.
exactly. Yeah. For sure. Exactly.
But yeah, they leave.
Exactly.
They leave, and the people notice that they can walk in out front.
Yeah, they see the lights out, but they try to
Yeah.
walk, they try to cross, and they can't, but then someone opens the door, and then they can
Yeah.
walk. It's almost like the energy flow is like
Yeah.
complete or something, right?
Yeah. And then I think we just see them walk out, and it cuts to morning at the cathedral, or
Yeah, they're
some
at the
other day at
church.
the cathedral. Yeah.
And
we
this
get
is
the choir again. The
this
interior.
this is the thing that really fucking I'm like, this guy's hilarious. Like with this part of when I first saw this part of the movie and the way it ended, I was like, this guy is so fucking funny and this is so smart. I fucking love it.
Yeah, well, I feel like I understand the context more now, because when it finished, I was like, okay, he's trying to say something profound here, but like the conformity thing ties it together for me right now. All of the people are just not actually, and this is kind of where my head was at, is like, oh, now it's happening at this church because these people are listening to the words of God, and hearing it, but are they actually like feeling it, living it, like actually engaging in it?
Yeah. This is the first scene that was shot for the movie too. But yeah, I love the clergyman trying to go leave and like he's like, why don't we leave after the congregants? And the other guy's like, why? Like I think almost like we never do that. Like
Yeah.
we're always supposed to leave first.
Right.
And that's the thing, you know, things always happen a specific way. And the Catholic Church is such a great example of that. Like religious liturgy
Ritual, yeah.
and like the fucking like when you look at like the calendar, because I mean the way that we experience Christianity for the most part is like very, very like diet. Like if you actually like dive into it and look at the way that like religious practices occurred back in the day, like in like the Catholic Church, there's like it's not just like Lent and like
everything
Christmas.
has to be done in a specific
There's
way.
like and there's things like there's times of the year like or even periods that we don't really like talk about or acknowledge anymore, but like they're like times for doing this, time for doing that. So it's so funny. He's like, maybe we should wait for them to leave, and they're like, what? Why? And then they're like, oh, maybe you should leave first. Maybe you should leave first, and no one can leave, right? And they're trapped once more. Then we see the empty church courtyard, and then like it slowly fades to black. You hear the church bells ringing, you see the flag flying, and then you hear the shots, and you see like the cops or the military shooting.
I was confused by this.
I think that like Yeah, I don't know. It's just like I think they're like maybe.
Like trying to push the people away from going to church because it's like quarantined.
Well, yeah, the people are trapped in that, and maybe it's like sort of like things are getting like intense, and maybe
Well, they
people are
have
like
the flag
rioting and
on
shit.
there, so the quarantine
Yeah,
flag is on the church now. So maybe it's just
yeah,
things
it's the
got out
same
of
thing as that,
hand.
and it seems like maybe people are like, I want to go in there, I want to see like, I want to see my loved one, and yeah, things kind of erupting into chaos.
Yeah.
And then the flock of sheep running towards the church,
Yeah, I love that final shot. It's great.
and then it says fin, which is Spanish for the end, and the last thing you hear is the screaming of the crowd. And one of my favorite things about a movie with no credits at the end is that boom,
Done.
done.
Yeah, I like Finn too. That always feels satisfying.
I saw a cut of this, well, not just of the ending, and they're showing the sheep running into the courtyard, and it's playing the Curb Your Enthusiasm music. Da 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 da
Nice.
da da da
Yeah.
da da. Boop boop. It's fucking hilarious.
But yeah, it was interesting to me that we have all our characters in this cathedral when it happens again. So is it like, again, if I'm thinking of it as judgment, did they not learn their lesson kind of thing?
Yeah, yeah. It's a great question. And again, I don't really think of it as judgment. I think to me it's so much more about like it's an intellectual exercise. It is a narrative that pushes your trains of thought in directions it wouldn't have previously.
Right. Well, but whether it's divine judgment or judgment by the writer and the director of, you know, like we said, that like if this is a story about class or and being shut off from the lower classes and all that, like he's judging them.
Yeah, I mean, also you have to think about this. I think one of the things we haven't mentioned. This is, dude. He's Spanish. Do you like the government in Spain from 1930s until the 70s is a fascist regime
Right.
led by Franco. Apparently, Roger Ebert said the dinner guests represent the ruling class in Franco's Spain. Having set a banquet table for themselves by defeating the workers in the Spanish Civil War, they sit down for a feast only to find it never ends. They're trapped in their own bourgeois cul-de-sac, increasingly resentful at being shut off from the world outside. They grow mean and restless. Their worst tendencies are revealed.
Right. So I do think like, yeah, I do think that's in the script,
it's judgment.
right?
It is judgment for like it is saying the bourgeois like suck. Like it is very much like I said, it is a socialist lens. Like
Right.
I would not be surprised if Luis Buñuel was like a socialist.
Right. So like them being in the cathedral at the end is him saying like they didn't learn their lesson still. Like,
Yeah, well, I
because they
mean,
never do.
Yeah, they never do. And they're like also, but what I think is so interesting is like I think his like point of view and the point of or like the mechanics of the movie might not line up where it is like cuz it feels like you have to follow the social code to get out of this trap, right? But Buñuel doesn't want you to follow the social code for no reason. He wants you to look at and understand why you do different things. And perhaps it is sort of like this turn at the end where he's like, you still don't actually, you haven't like actually examined
You haven't
why you do
internalized.
things. You just,
yeah.
oh, to celebrate getting free, we have a service and we go to church because we
Yeah,
always
so
go to
we're
church.
good Christians. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting movie.
So you've never seen the short Un Chien Andalou,
No.
a Andalusian dog,
Nope.
where the guy cuts like the razor blade across the eyeball.
Ugh. No.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
I've heard of that. but-
Yeah, it's I think one of the most famous like sort of like surrealist films. But that was him and Dolly from like 1929.
Oh, cool. Yeah, no, I've definitely heard of that. Yeah.
You should check it out. It's only like 15 minutes long.
Cool. Yeah, fascinating movie. Definitely got me thinking. I enjoyed this conversation a lot. Helped me contextualize it a lot more and understand it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because like even though I was lost, I didn't feel like maybe a little frustrated sometimes, but not really. Like mostly I was just kind of immersed in this environment.
There's
and
enough of a narrative.
Yeah.
Like I think a good movie to contrast this to is The Mirror because
Yeah.
these are the sort of more ephemeral, dare I say, kind of like the kinds of movies that we've watched that don't fit neatly into the movie box.
Yeah.
And I think it, for me personally, has a narrative that's like easier. Like you can like you like
Yeah.
you're engaged throughout because like you're like, oh, there's like a thread.
Well,
like,
you
right?
told me it was like a surrealist film, and I was expecting it to be a lot weirder because I don't think like it is weird. and there are weird things happening, but the way it's handled is that the characters also recognize how weird it is. So it feels like you're in the surreal experience with them,
Yeah.
versus the mirror where it's just like so much weird shit happening. I have no idea what's going on or what it means or what you're trying to tell me.
Yeah. Yeah, with the mirror it was a little bit more, I feel like a lot vaguer.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I think once you understand him and where he grew up or when where he comes from, like it's much easier to be like, oh yeah, this is a political statement. Like,
Right. And also like in this, there is an actual like threat and attention to them trying to overcome this threat. Like there is a strong narrative core, I guess. Yeah.
so in 1931, he joined the Communist Party of Spain, although later in life he denied becoming a communist.
Mm.
Which I mean, probably, I mean, I could see.
Safe move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's talk tier rankings. Should we try to guess each other's tier rankings?
Yeah.
I think you're gonna give it a B.
You're right. Yeah. I was gonna give it a B. Yeah. I think super interesting. I do want to rewatch it sometime. Didn't blow me away. But thematically super interesting and a lot of cool decisions made and an amazing premise. S tier premise.
Yeah, I mean, like it's not like a movie you would ever regret watching.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I enjoyed it, and I'll remember it. For you,
Don't think about it too much, man.
S tier.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, for sure. Don't say wow.
Well, no, I'm just.
I said B and I said it straight faced. I didn't say wow. No wow. This is the no wow zone.
No, I mean, that's great.
Yeah, no, I think this is what film is about. This is the integration of all these different like mediums working together to not just tell a story, but like to say something. I think this statement, I love the statement, and I think also like this is something that I think he's successful in the way that he executes it. I understand why he saw it as a failure, but I think it is something that I am so sold on, like the concept that, and I think, it's a Spanish language film. It was like shot in Mexico. My grandfather left Spain in the 30s during the Spanish Civil War because his my great grandfather and great great grandfather were fighting on the side against like Franco. So I think maybe like those things make it feel a little bit more like there's like a sense of like pride too.
Yeah.
And like, going to film school and learning about like this director who made movies in like,
Right.
like in my, like the language of my, like, of my family.
Yeah.
Like I think there's like a personal touch to it, but also I think I'm just like so like sold on like thought, like this guy took like a thought experiment and
Yeah.
turned it into like a movie.
Yeah, well, I think, like you were saying, like, you love the statement of it so much. I think that the statement eluded me a bit, but this conversation helped bring it into focus more. So I could see it going up to an A on reviewings.
For sure. Yeah, fucking sick movie. Y'all should definitely check that shit out if you have not. Yeah, Luis Buñuel, fucking super interesting dude. He renounced his Spanish citizenship in 1949 and became Mexican, and he died in Mexico in
Rest in peace.
1983. Rest in peace, dude. Dude, his birthday is the 22nd of February. That's coming up.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Right
got a
around the
real
corner.
look to him. Dude, oh, what movie is he? There's a movie where, oh my God, there's a movie where like a bunch of the characters are like artists. Oh my God. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I'll remember it. We'll talk about it next time. But look at his very,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Quite an intense stare there.
Yeah.
It feels like he's kind of peering towards you and judging you.
Yeah, it looks like he kind of has like a lazy eye maybe too.
Yeah.
Very sick shit. We are approaching the end of Trapped Month.
That's
We're
right.
gonna wrap it up with our fourth movie next week.
That's right. We're doing Parasite.
Doing Parasite.
One of my favorite movies. I haven't seen it in a long time, so I'm
And
excited.
I think finally getting to say that is now, I think hopefully y'all can understand why I was so stoked on like the selection, because we have Castaway, which is this like again, trapped but very open,
Like,
sort of
yeah,
like trapped on an
by
island.
nature. Yeah.
Then we had Green Room.
Trapped by Nazis.
Yeah, and that feels like, again, we said it, the most straight ahead.
Yeah.
And then we have trapped by societal expectations and norms.
Yeah.
And then I think what's going to be cool is that Parasite, I think we'll find, if it isn't directly influenced like somewhat by like Buñuel's work, like I think we're going to see a lot of those like political and socioeconomic strata like things come up again.
I mean, it's the least literally trapped of the movies we're doing. So like some people might be like, that's a weird choice to do for Trapped. But I think we just thought like it's a very interesting choice for Trapped.
Yeah, for me, I absolutely immediately was like, this is awesome choice because these categories we're not literal with this shit. Like, and it is like it is. I think when you think about what the story is about, and we'll talk about it in the episode, like there is a sense of not being able to like decide for yourself, right?
Or
well,
you
to
become
like,
a
choose.
parasite because you're trapped.
Yeah, it's gonna be good shit. Y'all are gonna love it, I'm sure.
Great movie. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be super fun. Yeah, that was super dope. I always get really excited when we get to do more avant-garde, like weirder, like I don't know if necessarily lesser known, but maybe lesser known by like, you know, current pop culture, whatever. But yeah, I appreciate y'all listening. We'll be back with some fucking sweet, juicy takes.
Yeah, 2 foreign films back to back too.
We got 2 foreign films, but not for me, baby, because I'm a citizen of the world.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah. Fucking 안녕하세요. Fucking 감사합니다 for listening to this fucking episode. And muchísimas gracias. Spasiba. Fucking yeah, the other ones, you know, merci. What else is there? Grazie.
Irashimasu, is that thank you in Japanese?
Arigato gozaimasu.
Oh yeah, arigato gozaimasu. Yeah.
Arigato gozaimasu is for something that hasn't happened yet. Arigato gozaimasu is for something that is in the past.
Right. Irashimasu is welcome, I think.
Is that what you said when people would walk into Kazuki?
Yeah, I just know those 2 phrases.
And then there's also gochiso sama deshite, which means it was a feast, and that's what you say when you like leave like a restaurant or like after some, and it's like a way of saying thank you for feeding me.
Oh, and Cześć in Poland.
Cześć in Poland.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Well.
Hell yeah. Wait, how do you say it in German? Danke.
Danke.
And then in Dutch, dankjewel. But it's spelled like dank jewel. I like that.
Love it.
Yeah. If you know other ways to say thank you, I gotta say shishi. All right. Well, obrigado. I love obrigado. Obrigado in Portuguese because I was like, because I think it comes from the word like in Spanish obligado, which means like you're not really saying thank you. You're like, no, I had to do it. Which feels kind of funny, but I kind of love it. I don't like it. It just means thank you. But like, that's how I always think of it.
Right.
Anyway.
Hell yeah, brother. Well,
hell yeah.
We'll see you in the forecast.
Bye.
Bye.